capable as we are jumping into round 1 here on Dust 2. YeniCherry, time to make a move and show us what you're made of.
And honestly, if we didn't get some Dust 2 today, I would have been a little disappointed. So I'm glad we got some. It'll be YeniCherry in the blue, all gas, no brakes in the red. You can see YeniCherry here. Get a little bit of pressure towards that catwalk area, but you're going to see Ryuzaki, the lurk master of the previous series, heading the way out here from tunnel.
Yeah, Kaki over here by Cat, just waiting for that boost. Gonna find Ryuzaki, and that is going to be it for that player. They're gonna back off, take their win, and play their lives.
All right, things have slowed down, of course, after that initial pick here. No team wants to give up much more. You see Long being held here by Brashy. He's going to fall back. David also going to push in through doors. They're going to use some utility to cover themselves from spawn, and it works out. The USP's not going to find anything through the smoke, and 2 players going to make their way through, but they turn their backs all the way in, and Nick will be able to get in until they finally find a death on the other side of that tunnel.
Oh, all alone, it's STX trying to hold it down. They will jump through window, might be able to find one, but they won't. And it's YeniCherry taking that first round, showing some strength here in the face of opposition of all gas, no brakes.
And you know, that smoke play there, they were able to make it through doors, but it didn't cover them entirely onto the site, all gas, no brakes. So in that way, they had their backs turned, assuming, oh, the smoke's still covering us, we're good, we're good. And that was 4 players pushing towards spawn. 1 player was able to really kind of slow down and stifle that push onto site.
Big moves by Getiter, and now we have Coco out here on the scout, but players facing away from STX, but it's not going to matter because Kaki and Brashy, the 2 E twins, I'm just making that up now, are be able to spray them down. Coco does get 1 tag over onto Febreze with the scout. They're going to play their lives at this point. Actually, no, go for another one.
Okay.
This is the shot, still trying to have something work here. Another leg, no kills yet.
And by the way, Kaki is all the way up through Long here too, could potentially flank back up mid. And once this push comes in through Cat, that might be the signal to start rounding back around from Long. As that catwalk push is going to come in. 4 players stacking all the way towards the site, and it's just 1 player here, Gladiator, with 1, with 2. Can they get a 3rd? They do. The head goes off, and that is a cleanup for YeniCherry.
Yeah, Getiter being able to hold it down, but the 1-by-1 swing probably wouldn't be for the best. If you're looking at all gas, no brakes, you want to put that pressure on. They had a full-on rush out from Cat, or at least they made their way onto site. But once they got there, they weren't able to actualize a plan.
That was a really solid hold, too. And you can see that YeniCherry very confident leaving 1 player on a site to hold down. Got to keep that in mind coming through this.
Yeah, they left Brashy by that the double doors and just decided not to pursue it. They left over by A main. Decided not to go for a flank. Believed in their squad, but let's see what Ryuzaki can do here. Did get a shot out initially over toward Kaki, but no real commitment. Smoke off is going to keep him guessing on the side of all gas, no brakes. And it looks like or on the side of YeniCherry.
Ryuzaki almost with that drop shot through the door. That would have been hype. Oh, and Brashy gonna get 1, gonna get 2. Ryuzaki and Febreze getting cut down as they move through the double doors. And it's a 5-on-2 situation. Brashy is knocked down a little bit, still has a rifle. And a ton of money to go. They already have 2 kills on their belt here. It's YeniCherry with a massive advantage, holding catwalk as well. If anyone tries to peek through and try to get away, they're likely going to get cut down. It's Kaki who has the pressure in through tunnel. Meanwhile, STX looking for the flank from behind, does get 1, but takes a ton of damage as they peek and gets killed through double doors.
YeniCherry still looking strong here. They're taking their 3rd round against all gas, no brakes.
So far, a really strong start here for YeniCherry as they have taken a commanding, maybe not commanding, but a very substantial 3-0 lead to start things off. And when you get like that 2nd round, the 3rd round is a lot of the time in this meta like pretty much guaranteed. So now this is, you know, another save round that's forced by all gas, no brakes. That's really not until the 5th round we're going to be able to see them do some damage.
Yeah, just a bunch of Deagles and probably a P250 as well, but even just that nade damage is being a bit of a nuisance over to that squad. We have them split up. They don't really want to make too much of a commitment over onto A. They do have a player lurking, trying to get some information, but I mean, they had 2 players with Kaki taking down for Breeze as well as Gertz over through mid. Miyazaki's not allowed to push up through Cat. Now we have Brashy deciding to make a move for themselves, taking down David.
Wow.
Kaki once again with that up, putting in work.
And really solid job there by Brashy, calling out the timing right as those 2 players from All Gas No Breaks are lining up to go up the stairs. I think Brashy had like 3 kills in the round, if not 4. And that's a player that, again, YeniCherry is very comfortable leaving them in a position and letting the other team come to them. Brashy is almost always going to get at least 1, maybe not even 2 kills right there. The gunplay is extremely strong, and now All Gas No Breaks with the buy. This is their opportunity to get things going, but Kaki says no. Another early death as STX goes down.
Huge boost coming out with Kaki for them to spot out the Russian tons. And now Geditor waiting on the other side of these smokes, gonna find 2. The confidence this team has and the trust they have within each other is really showing, but for Breeze, time to show some teeth. Time to have their own frags, and now we do have Gertz all alone, and play toward B is about to commence.
Yeah, Febreze is now going to join back up with David as they go outside towards tunnel here. Oh, that almost took their head off. Gonna get flashed, and entry from Febreze goes in. Febreze picks up 1, gets traded. Oh, gets another. David actually picks him up, and now it's a 2-on-1.
Kaki, all that stands between a victory for All Gas No Breaks is this offer. Are they going to hold on to it? The Molly going through the window. We do have the counter offer. David hanging out in tons. Nice gun, nice skin.
Nice skin. Very nice.
It's going to take a little more than style to win this one. If there's a peek from David, I think that's going to be deadly, but the flash is out. No one's going to peek. Kaki just backing up, looking to be a save.
Yeah, that's a smart move here. You have 2 angles you got to, hold there. So you got 2 hard angles you have to check going onto the site. The Molly was cutting off the boost area over towards the wall break. It's a nice save. You got to do it. And a really solid hold here by both Febreze and David after they were down in players. The entry by Febreze, David clutching, and they're able to get the bomb down, and all of a sudden turn things in their favor. That's a first-round win here for All Gas No Breaks.
Definitely something they needed, and it was a smart move on the side of YeniCherry to hold on to that off. Kaki now is going to keep that one in store, and they're pulling up with 2 of them. Coco going by mid-doors to try and make that work, but David hanging out with the op themselves. It's going to be a battle, but the smoke is there, preventing anyone from taking L. But Febreze, however, is making their way through. It's going to be a first kill, but Coco through the smoke is going to find that trade. Geditor hanging back by barrels, hoping that no one is going to try and push through Cat.
Yeah, Cat stairs cut off for just a moment. You can see Getter waiting on site and pushing up again, looking for the timing here through the smoke. Meanwhile, Kaki still holding down A long here. There's no way you're going to be able to push through that. And now we're going to go through the push through Cat right together. And again, they face check it and immediately responded with the rifle kill.
Just a bad look, a bad angle to take. Perfect positioning by Geditor to find that cheeky little kill. And now they jump down into CT spawn. They're hanging down, but at this point, All Gas No Breaks seems to have site control. It's going to be a retake scenario. 2 players, maybe even 3, making their way through CT spawn. The bomb is going to go down, but how is this retake going to commence?
Yeah, look at this spread right here. You can see Ryuzaki going in. I'm sorry, David going in towards Cat. You can see Ryuzaki holding doors outside long. It looks like it's going to be the Cat push, and Ryuzaki can't hold it on their own. And now Kaki's going for a long swing all the way around. Thinking twice of it, that's a smart move. It would have taken way too much time to try to lurk all the way around. Now going to push up right through long. Meanwhile, being held up, it's David gets one, can't hold up the other, but STX gets there just in time to make it a 1-on-1.
Yeah, Gertz is in a world of hurt right now, and they will be completely exposed if they try and get this plant. Oh, the defusal is going to be good because Gertz wins the gun battle against STX.
That is a hard loss there. STX doing everything they could to even the odds, and they did. And it was really, really such a careful situation because STX almost did the lurk back through mid towards Catwalk. They decided not to do it and swing back around, which was the right play because they forced the 1v1, but then they had to take that really sat back line, hold the bomb angle, and win the 1v1. Just couldn't do it.
And that was in last second. That
Yes.
bomb was ready to blow, but they still were able to come out on top thanks to Gertz clutching it out. And they want to hold on to that momentum, the spirits that they've gained from winning such a great round.
I like this play by YeniCherry. They've won the catwalk fight a lot of the time, so they've actually left that open a little bit, giving All Gas No Brakes a little bit of confidence, potentially push. But you can even see then they're very scared to move up here, up towards Cat, because you know either Brashy or Getadir is waiting on the other side. And indeed, it is it's one of them at least. I'm sorry, Kaki who's actually the only one there. Getadir's or Brashy's down towards spawn. And look how deep Getadir is, all the way back in, down long, waiting for someone to peek out. But it's mid that's being occupied here by All Gas No Brakes, and it looks like they're going to rotate over to the other site.
Yeah, the slow play isn't something you would imagine. It's not indicative of the name of All Gas No Brakes, but they've got to try something new as they're still down 4 rounds, but jumping through the smoke. Fabrice is trying to find something, but he doesn't. Does get a little bit of damage onto Brashy, but Brashy trying to swing out from
what a
CT
shot.
Gets him. And on the other side, it's going to be Coco trying to play for their
Coco's
life,
on
but
fire.
they do. It's going to cost them a death in the fire, but Coco picks up 2. And now Getadir coming through CT spawn is going to have to take out 2, but if you're looking to your left, we got Fabrice hanging out on the angle. He's not going to peek it. Fabrice is taking him down.
Crucial win there by All Gas No Brakes. They do it with only 2 players remaining, so they will have to rebuy a little bit, but it keeps them in this game. And that is what you want to see. A really mostly spread out and really committal defensive hold by YeniCherry. They were super deep down A long, and it kind of cost them.
Yeah, but let's see how they will try and recover this. All Gas No Brakes. Still in a bad scenario despite coming up with that recent round win. But take a look. We have Deagles across the board out here for YeniCherry.
Yeah, YeniCherry just going to default here with the pistols. That's pretty much what they have to do. They're waiting for someone to peek. Here comes the push up catwalk. It's going to be Fabrice, and Fabrice finds the shot and is going to pull back. Like, all right, I got it, I'm going back. And now that's time they have to worry about. But look how open B-site is. They could easily go for this. They just don't have the information. They don't know where everyone is. But once they get that info, they're like, okay, we should try to run back over. And honestly, I think you can see YeniCherry is not even worried about a retake. They're kind of positioning themselves for a retake here.
Yeah, with 3 players over on long and potentially a flank coming in from Getadir in the pit. If they decide to do it, actually, no, they're going to back off, but there will be aggression. There will be fire in the CT spawn. They're going to get caught in it. That's going to take out 2. David, though, wall banging through that smoke. That's going to hurt him even more. The bomb is down. Coco and Gertz in no position for a retake.
That's a 5-on-3. David is low. Ryuzaki's also been chipped down. Coco trying to make something happen behind Carr here, but it's a long-range battle. They're not going to win against Ryuzaki, who picks up the kill. Now it's a 5-on-1 situation. All Gas No Brakes. Pick up that kill without losing a single player. Make it 5-3.
Yeah, unfortunately, they weren't able to beat Deagle Demons here on the CT side with YeniCherry. They were looking to try and get some frags in, but it will not be the case. Finally, back on the op is going to be Kaki, who has done some work in the past. In the past rounds, they have been quite prominent using that sniper, but it will cost them the fact they don't have any armor. So a single missed shot is all it's going to take for that to be dropped down. But Brashy finding the first one of the round, but Nick won't let him get away with it. That won't be a freebie. They're going to be stopped here on Cat Stairs, but the smoke is going to clear him out through. They're jumping out of the smoke. Ryuzaki finds one, but Kaki hanging out by the car. Did have that threat, did have the up to try and prevent anyone from coming through, but it's been cleared out.
And now they're going to have to reset the situation. Gertz does not have an angle on anything at all. And that's actually through that flash. David's going to be able to rotate back on site, which is perfect because Coco's now trying to peek onto it itself from below and is able to find David as they uncrouch. Now it's a 2-on-1 situation, but Coco is super low, does have a rifle and a single kill under their belt, but Ryuzaki is going to continue to put pressure on from catwalk, and as they try to get away, Coco gets caught out by Nick, and All Gas No Brakes bringing it back. Only 1 round down from tying it up.
Yeah, this is what we've seen All Gas No Brakes do. When they are down, they're down for a little bit, but when the momentum shifts, it's all them. They're on the come up, they're accelerating, and they're not gonna let down anytime soon. I mean, just take a look at the buys, Dak.
Oh yeah, this is looking solid here for All Gas No Brakes, and YeniCherry knows they can't afford to force buy here. I mean, this is, again, a situation where the teams are now very much aware of the fact that if they continue to force buy and they can't confirm on these kills, that's what's going to set them back. They don't want to be their own worst enemy. Like, it's kind of what we saw with, with the Bears earlier, right? So in that regard, it's a safe play and an expected play by YeniCherry.
Yeah,
looks like we might have a bit of a pause, I believe.
Yeah.
Looks like we do. All right. A bit of a pause here for these two teams, and that's a bit of a cooler right there, right? You're kind of icing the other team, right?
Definitely something YeniCherry needed, just like a little bit of a break to reassess your mental. You know, they've taken a few round losses, and now they're most likely going to take another one working with the USPs. But anything is possible here.
You never know. We're actually going to take a look at a couple of these rounds. We just saw some awesome replays here. And as these two teams get situated, there we go. This was the really kind of what set things off here, right? Where you had Gettitor, you had Brashy winning these, disadvantaged situations, checking smokes, winning the timing battles really well. And that in that way, YeniCherry got some nice early rounds here. But of course, all gas no brakes brought it back.
Getting a good look at
selfie cam.
A good look at
hey,
YeniCherry.
Here we go. I mean, this is still doable, Doug. I mean, one of the rounds that we remember most of all gas, no brakes, was their eco round win on the previous series. So just because YeniCherry's on pistols doesn't mean that they can't do it. If they get that hero rifle, right, like, that could be it. But, of course, that's not something you'd entirely expect for sure. And not a lot of utility. Gettitor's the only one who's able to buy any utility whatsoever, so they're going to have to rely on that to avoid these dry pushes if they want to get any economic damage done on all gas.
Oh my God, Coco just sending it down mid, trying to make something work. But all they're going to find is a bullet to the brain. Ryuzaki isn't going to have any cheeky plays come up this round.
Nope. Couple doors getting kind of cleared out here for Breeze. Gets another here. At least first one for them, but another for all gas, no brakes. And Catwalk kind of opens up, but remember, we've seen a lot of damage done from this push, but no one is actually on site here, and it's really, that makes sense. The pistols aren't going to be able to hold this, and that means all gas, no brakes can just mosey onto the site here, kind of willy-nilly, no problem, as the remaining defenders for YeniCherry really don't have much leverage at all.
Yeah, wait a minute. Oh, Gert's picking up one. That is a tiny victory. It only takes one. But, I mean, look at the money we're seeing on the side of all gas.
It's kind of a negligible kill, It's like, oh, it's great to have, but it doesn't really have any impact, So, all gas, no brakes. Tying it up. This is the team that we've come to expect. They're down, like you said. They find their stride. They get the download, and now they're cruising here.
We've seen them get stuck, that'd be YeniCherry, stuck in the CT spawn quite a bit, especially if they're looking for a retake on A. But hopefully they don't find themselves stuck as we're having to rush down long. It's going to be Fabrice making the first contact, spots one in the corner, takes him down, get there, fallen, but Khaki hanging out on the site, trying to make it work with the not happening just yet, but there it is. Finally, the response is here. Brashy looking to make a move through the smoke, jumping onto the boost wall. Get in! Brashy finds David, and a huge play, but they're not done yet. It's a 3v3. The bomb will go down, but once again, how many times have we seen these players stuck by CT?
Yeah, and great smokes, by the way, by all gas, no brakes to cover them from spawn to get onto the site. Really well done here. While YeniCherry looks like they're going to re-engage on Catwalk. Ryuzaki's ready to go. Gets one. Finds another. STX actually steals it away from them. But look at that, Gertz. Immediately responds for 2 kills on their own and forces the 1v1.
It's all up to Nick to try and clutch it out. Hanging out by the barrels, just running down the clock. He's going to have to go for a swing, but looking the wrong way.
Oh, that was huge.
Woo. Nick holds it down for his squad.
Wow. That right there requires the mental of some concrete mental right there. Some steel, iron, whatever you can name it, some solid mental right there to hold on. Forcing the 1v1, getting the perfect rotation there, and Nick clutching it out for all gas, no brakes, their first lead of this map.
Yeah, they went through the equalizer, and now they have the advantage, and YeniCherry back to the Deagle, so this is just going to be another AGNB. Yep, that's the acronym.
There you go. You got it. Letters are hard.
Yep, another all gas, no brakes lead. And swinging out, finds one, Gertz. Fabrice almost pays for their life. Ryuzaki there to help out their buddy. And will even bring Brashy down to death's door.
Breeze and Ryuzaki doing a really solid job on entry a lot of these times, right? They're leading the pack, they're getting those early kills, and that sets things up because not only have they taken 2 players down, but Brashy is super chipped, right? Like 17 HP, not going to be able to really commit or jiggle on anything. And meanwhile, David sitting all the way back here with this op, cutting off the map here through double doors. So you have Kaki, who's completely separated from the rest of Geditor and Brashy. There's no way for them to get some help, and now it's a 4-person push through Catwalk for that pressure right on top of Kaki.
Kaki just jumping out of those boxes, hoping to find something, hoping to make some magic happen, but it is absolutely not going to. And we have Geditor, the last one alive on the opposite side, and I think they're just going to try and get a dig before they fall themselves.
Yeah, now they're just on a hunt right now, and it's over just like that. Geditor goes down, all gas, no brakes. Now with this streak, YeniCherry going to have to use a little bit of that loss bonus here to try and get back into it, as they're going to buy out, get some rifles back on, but their money is looking low. They're, you know, the debt is high, the money is low, and all gas, no brakes are starting to pump the pedal here as they move on with a 7-5 lead.
We have a double op. It's Coco and Kaki. Coco makes it work, taking out David. That's going to be one crucial player out of play. Now they just have to wait. They allow all gas, no brakes to push onto you.
A really strong A long hold here by the CTs. Really, STX is not going to be able to push up whatsoever. They're also smoked out. And so is mid as well. And you can see that's actually pushing back all gas, no brakes a little bit here. They're a little scared to push in through double doors, and they're now separating completely. They're looking to get some information here because they really don't know where the CTs are because they've rotated over towards B site. And that's a push that I don't think always all gas, no brakes are particularly ready to make here. They haven't committed to either site. They're playing this kind of default setup, looking for another pick potentially. And that makes sense.
Ryuzaki's recovered that op. They're holding it down on mid through those double doors, waiting for a rotation once they make their final commitment onto A site. If that is the case, we have this way long away rotation from Nick Halton. And now once they reunite, most likely going to find our execute, but Geditor hanging out in the pit is just waiting for someone to show their head. If they are able to get the advantage, they can call the rest of the squad. There it is, that's the bomb. You know where they are, putting out the smoke to make sure they're going to be safe, but Fabrice out on Catwalk is going to stop the off from being put in position. Now there is the control of long, of sight out here for all gas, no brakes. STX pulling out the op, just waiting for the peek, and there it is, Brashy goes down. And Coco and Gertz, the last one's alive, hoping to make this work, but it is a 2v2. The stakes are high, but it isn't unwinnable here for YeniCherry.
Definitely not. And bomb is down now, so now time is on their side. Nice jump peek there, but STX gets the better of Coco nonetheless. 2-on-1 situation here, and Gertz has no health to work with, 12 HP. Does have utility, but doesn't want to burn it. And no, looks away at the last second. Oh, you hate to see it. All gas, no brakes continues this win streak. And that comes off of, again, that really aggressive CT hold down long. I mean, how many players they had super deep committed down long? The second those players died, it completely opened up the right side of the map. All of a sudden, all gas, no brakes can just filter right in and just funnel on towards the site because the CTs took such an aggressive stance.
With all their commitment to that side of the map, you would expect a stronger hold, but once one falls, the momentum is built up because they have the split over onto Cat to put the pressure onto Coco with the op, and they just couldn't hold it down despite the numbers advantage.
Now we got a bit of a default here. Both teams kind of chilling, waiting out. A huge stack over on B site, though. 4 members of CT hanging out, and it just Geditor, who's over on the right side and isn't on the site itself. They're kind of waiting for a potential retake that would make the most sense here. Still defaulting it for all gas, no brakes. Trying to get some information. They really haven't gotten too much, but they know the site's open, so they're going to play with that.
Of course, yeah. This is such an odd setup. You know, this is what they do when they're on. Whoa, Geditor, hold on a second.
That was a sick shot right there. On these pistols, I mean, the stack on B site obviously makes a lot of sense. They want to be stacked up with these pistols, but that pick right there turns this round into a potential win possibly, right? If they can pick up a rifle, this could change things up. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe I spoke too soon.
Okay, well, I mean, rifle in hand, 3v3. You wouldn't really expect this setup in a Saber or an Eco.
Oh, they're bringing this back. They're bringing this back. Oh, but all gas, no brakes. Cut it down just before it gets a little too crazy. But yeah, no, those light rifle drops right there. That's the thing on an Eco round. It can still all of a sudden swinging away, you don't want to go. If you get that one pick, that one shot, and all of a sudden you drop that hero rifle, that could turn things around. And all gas, no breaks. They do get the convincing round win, but they dropped a bunch of players on an eco round for YeniCherry, so they're forced to rebuy a little bit. But of course, look at the money for all gas, no breaks. They're not worried about it whatsoever.
It's a drop in the bucket, but let's see who's going to drop next. As all this utility is coming out onto the B site, Fabrice swinging out with the rest of that squad. It's going to be Gertz in this, stacked hold that they like to do over on A. They have nobody there to fully commit and defend this site, and the bomb is going to go down in just a matter of seconds from the round starter.
YeniCherry now, a really hard position to retake here. They have no leverage towards tunnel, so they can't push in on that side. They can only come in through spawn, and this is getting mollied out too. So they're now time is against them as well. And obviously, they're going to look for a peek through towards wall. Nick's waiting for it from below. Gets, whoa, STX steal. David and STX steal all those kills from Nick, but I'm sure they're not worried about it whatsoever. Look at that, all gas, no breaks. Look at that, coming into the halftime. 9 round wins in a row to finish that off. I hope my math is correct.
It looks like it is.
Yeah,
it looks like it is.
Thankfully, I can count. I'm very proud of myself. All gas, no breaks have just completely swung this back. This is the team we've come to expect.
Yeah, that's the performance that all gas, no breaks represents. It's what they've done back on Nuke, and now they're bringing that performance here onto Dust too. And if they're going to be able to continue that on the defensive half, we have Ryuzaki just running it down mid, looking for something. They will find, potentially, they'll meet that one lurker, and Ryuzaki gets it done. Nick hanging out on top of Cat. There's 4 players here in tons. You got to get ready, but the backup is there. They swing out, and the help, Ryuzaki picking up 3 now.
I really love that aggressive push here from all gas, no breaks, because they got so much information off that initial pick. They knew exactly the rest of the teams. Like, they have to be towards B, towards tunnels. And Nick gets that final kill. That was a really solid play. That's them setting the pace. They're conditioning the other team, because all of a sudden, YeniCherry, they had no information. They had no map control. They clumped up towards tunnels, and taking advantage of that was all gas, no breaks. They pushed out. They spread around. They got that pick. And like, oh, there's one player hanging out here. The rest of the team is grouped up somewhere else, and they got that pick and were able to funnel those kills at the end of the round.
Well, some MAC-10s on the docket, as well as some Deagles hoping for YeniCherry to make a move. We do have Fabrice hanging out with the M4, going to turn away for the flash. They're staying alive, and the sprays are going to be good. One player by car. STX is going to fight him, but STX is going to lose. Ryuzaki there for the backup, and the eventual swings out from tunnels will allow Fabrice to continue the onslaught. Kaki, however, from double doors might be able to turn this into a winnable situation. It's a 1v1. Kaki's got the Deagle and the health advantage. If they get one shot over into Fabrice, it's going to be over, and it's going to be a round back into YeniCherry.
And you can see Fabrice does not want to open up towards double doors here. Swings out, great swing. Gets across and does a solid amount of damage. Kaki now going to continue to pressure up and does have that MAC-10, so we'll be able to spray and pray as well. And in this situation with both players being so low, that might end up being the circumstance, but neither of them want to give up an inch or even move whatsoever. You can see, though, that Fabrice is starting to rotate back out, but that bomb is down.
Yeah, down in that corner.
And they're leaving it, too.
It's going to leave it. It's going to be Fabrice looking for a flank. If Fabrice can pull off this flank, that would be phenomenal, but it's got to be Kaki clearing out every corner. They do have enough time to try and get that bomb down, and the plant will be good.
Fabrice going to hear it, yep.
They have the information. Fabrice slowly creeping up toward the double doors. Are they going to commit? Are they going to look to the window? It's going to be swinging out for the window.
Oh,
he
no.
got the information. Kaki knows. Kaki knows, but Kaki kicking the shot. It's Fabrice holding it down.
Oh, that could have gone so bad, so horribly. And Fabrice, with such a smart rotation off there, the confidence, like, all right, I'm going to give you this whole site. I'm going to take it back when I want to take it back. They left the bomb down, and you could tell Kaki checked all those corners, but once he could hear the bomb being planted, moving right in, and all gas, no breaks, picking up another round win off of that really just hero play there. And Fabrice with 3 kills, if not more. I mean, smelling victory.
It smells like gas. It smells like gas. Victory smells like gas, but Brashy is going to cut off their sense of smell by bringing down Ryuzaki, who's getting that aggressive push through the tunnel. 4
players here of the T side stacking up towards A long. They're not committing just yet, but there's no one actually looking down long. They could decide to push it if they wanted to. They have no information, though. No one's holding mid. They haven't seen anyone cross over on the CT side. They actually really haven't seen the CTs whatsoever. This lack of information is really pushing YeniCherry back a little bit here and is giving the all gas, no brakes team a little bit of opportunity to rotate a bit. They did get that 1 kill in tunnels, but that didn't really give the T's too much information. It was a single kill, and the rest of the team's nowhere really near them. So now they're still hesitant to push down A long.
Yeah, just imagine the difference in setups here. Normally you would have players way deeper on
Oh, they lined up.
Swinging out from the flash. STX finds one, but it won't last for too long. Getter brings it back from him. Gonna have to self-smoke. Dave looking to preserve their life as they have backup moving in through from
David, though.
CT spawn, but it's gonna be good. However, Coco manages to get a headshot through the smoke. Now it's all 2v2. Fabrice waiting for that smoke to dissipate, but they're not going to wait. They're impatient. They swing out and find Coco, but Gertz is looking for that cap player, but all they'll find is death. And all gas, no bricks. Find a 13th round.
Their retake is so good. They know exactly where to push in, what off angles to hold. They're constantly forcing these 50-50 angle checks. I mean, Nick going all the way back to catwalk. I almost thought he was going to lurk all the way back towards long. Had the time to do it, but sitting back, holding on catwalk. Now you have to check that angle. You have to check the angle on site towards car in the back of the site. Perfectly well done. And then David was already there to get that initial kill on the entry as the team was starting to push on. That really set the tone as well and kind of threw off the bomb plant and gave him enough time for Nick to push back, take that off angle, and then go for the retake.
Yeah, the retakes have been
Clean.
starkly different.
So good.
From this squad, but Ryuzaki, I can't believe he even survived that long enough to find two. I thought he was dead the moment they swung.
And now a 3-on-3, all players almost at full health here. It's just Gertz sitting at 84. Doesn't have full Kevlar helmet though. Or actually, yeah, they all have full Kevlar. It's Coco who has the bomb. 13-5 here as we're getting towards that minute mark. And the push up towards Cat's gonna happen alongside that angle from A long in a 3-on-2 situation here. But it's Nick from below. Can they catch someone off guard before they find him? And he does, gets 1 kill. Can he get the second? Wow, pulls down, gets that second kill. Coco returns, and now it's a 1-on-1. Coco is at 2 HP.
That was such a great flank or a double push coming out from all gas, no brakes. The distraction that was the other player on Cat allowed Nick to pick up two, and it gave him enough time and put down enough health for Nick to pick up a third onto Coco. 2 more rounds here, Dak, until all gas, no brakes takes map 1.
How many rounds in a row have they won? I've lost count at this point. This is just incredible by all gas, no brakes. And not only that, we have Nuke next, dude. We have Nuke after this. Like, I have no, if I was YeniCherry, I'd be a little scared.
I would be as well. I mean, you saw what they did on Nuke. You saw what they are doing, or you see right now how Dust 2 is unfolding. And YeniCherry currently not stacking up and stepping up to the challenge, at least for now.
Whew. Things got a little quiet on the YeniCherry side here, and I don't blame them. They're certainly trying to figure things out. And they've got a massive loss bonus to play with, but they can't afford really any more heavy losses, but they're going to do what they can. Brashy is actually not bought out here. Going to save a little bit of money, I guess, for the next round and make sure they at least have 1 rifle for the next round if it goes that far.
Oh my god, it's Ryuzaki again! All the aggression from all gas, no brakes, even on the defensive, has led them to have such an advantage against YeniCherry. We have another player, STX, hanging out in lower tons with the MP9, waiting for someone to just try and swing it, but Gertz is aware. Gertz knows that there's a player, but aren't too sure of where they could be. If they clear this corner, that could be a good advantage for them.
Yeah, and of all the players for YeniCherry to lose, I mean, Brashy was the only one without a gun, so that was worth, I mean, in terms of players you could lose. They didn't get too much information from it, but Gertz now in tons on the staircase. Do they know STX is right there? STX is holding it. Statuesque trying to do it. No, Gertz still doesn't see it. And STX is statuesque here. Refuses to move as we hit the minute mark. And no, they're not.
The trigger discipline. He's going to
1,
find
2. They both go down. STX makes it look easy. Now it's a 5-on-2 situation with Kaki and Coco alive. And never mind, just Coco. As Kaki goes down 5-on-1. And Coco is by themselves on A long. I don't even know if I'd give them a woman to play because they have nothing. 15-5 for all gas, no breaks there once again on map point.
The trigger discipline coming out of STX to not move, to not peek, to not do anything. You see one player, but I guess the bomb dropping realized, oh, there's got to be another one. And picking up those two just spelt victory, regardless of the following picks.
And the fact that STX was able to go unnoticed in that corner so they would push out without checking it, wow, that was, I mean, that's a differences of pixels right there.
Well, hold on a second. While we're talking about pixels, let's see if anyone can get a pick here. Kaki backing up after looking through those doors with the AWP, and no one is looking there anymore, but Gladiator hanging out down by mid-double doors, but it's covered. Looking around, Ryuzaki, very aggressive. There's one player behind the car. They don't notice him just yet. He's got to check. He's got to take a look.
So stop.
No! Ryuzaki doesn't find that opening pick this time around.
Got to check the hatchback, man. Got to be checking the Subaru. And now they're going to rotate back over towards mid. You can see that David kind of looking for an intentional or an additional push in towards doors towards long. It doesn't come their way. And YeniCherry, even with that pick, they still slow things down, and they're going to try to slowly take this towards catwalk. I don't blame them. But again, this is where we've seen, this is Nick's power position right here. Can stop pushes by themselves. And STX still waiting right outside this door here, looking for potential pick again. But it's not coming their way.
David sitting on the car on A-long, waiting for someone to make a move. That's going to be telegraphed. Now they know they're coming through Cat, and they've got an op. Kaki still on the prowl. Not going to find anyone shooting through the door, but it won't be good. Now they have some utility. The flash is good. Nick has an opportunity. Finds two.
What a shot.
Might be able to find three, and he
third.
does!
Whew. Did I say power position? Because I meant it. Because I meant it. Nick does not let go, and now it's a 3-on-2 situation. Sorry, 3-on-1. As STX finds another, and then
and the one tap. Nick gets it done. And all gas, no brakes. Keep their foot on the gas as they're taking map 1.
Look at that. We are already in our second map. It is Nuke, and it is all gas, no brakes. But I believe we're going to be on the CT side first.
Live here in Nuke. Let's see what they got. We have the pistols out, and it's going to be Nick Halden, a name that we've talked about quite a bit throughout this matchup, opening up against Gertz. Let's see if they can keep it going.
Oh, and looks like they're going to be trying to come in from above. Here comes the flash. Even flashed our radar. I like that effect. That's cool. STX pushing up, going through Mini. This STX, the king of Mini. Last time they were playing on Nuke and going to try to keep that title, but no, Brashy gets one. Nick finds another on Getter. They're trading out. STX does get the better of Coco until Brashy will find that kill on David. Now going to go in towards Vents. It's a one-on-one situation, but Brashy is super low. It is the clutch master Nick Halden by themselves as Brashy's going around outside to swing in for another entry. But look, Nick's holding that bomb tight. It's going to be hard to push in on him.
Definitely, and I guess they're going to expect a potential flank, or maybe Nick Halden isn't expecting anything, moving toward that lobby area. If they can clear that out, then they have one of their 50-50s completely secure. But, you know, with this new angle, they've got the crosshair trained on the enemy, and it's going to find the dome of Brashy.
Such steady aim out of this kid, right? Like, just absolutely holding strong, refuses to move, and gets the one tap almost every single time. When it looked like YeniCherry starting to, you know, trade out and maybe have the advantage, once again, it's Nick on the lonesome by themselves, clutching it out in a 1v1 situation. We've seen it before. I'm certain we'll see it again.
Yeah, but that did show some promise in Mini. You know, it was Brashy and crew. They held it down. They wouldn't falter or waver while they were put in a less than favorable situation. There's Brashy again, doing the damage, finding that first pick against David with the one dig.
Fabri is thinking about walking through fire, but doesn't want to step on the coals. Getter's going to throw some shots down. Some of them going to get caught by the railing, going to fall back. Kaki also towards ladder, going to fall back as well. Ryuzaki has the FAMAS, might be able to get some stuff done. Fabriz also holding, gets some shots in, but has to fall back. There's 4 players pushing him, and that's the right move.
Oh, this
5,
is an absolute mess. Fabriz staying alive, though.
Wow.
Finding 2. The bomb's going to go down. They find a 3rd. No, another pistol. Looking for more, but can they get it? No. It will be Coco finally putting them down, but STX is there for the assist, or at least for the cleanup.
That almost was, that could have been, if there was like a 4 or 5K that came out of that, I would just like, all right, I don't know what else I could say. That just speaks for itself, but All gas, no brakes. Picking up another round. Fabrice just putting down all the stops here. Ryuzaki still with the FAMAS. You can see Fabrice picked up the AUG, I believe. And then you have AKs across the board for YeniCherry.
Oh, Gladiator getting a nice angle between those crates. It finds the first one. Gladiator, or Geditor, my mistake, continues to make it happen. Geditor with a third. And this is just a big 180 out here for YeniCherry. Looking to take their first round here, and it's definitely something they require, as is their big commitment of money here.
But look who's still alive. Fabrice and Nick. Those are the two players I'd be scared of, even a 5v2. And Geditor is low, so it could be a 4-on-2. They're at 2-on-2, or 22 HP. And still, look at this. Even with such a huge advantage, YeniCherry's playing so slow. They're like, it feels like they're almost trying to like default again or something. Like they're just rotating slowly, moving slowly, and I get they don't have the information, but such a player advantage. They could just stack onto one of the sites and try to like force it, right? And they're not doing that. I'm surprised.
As long as you cover different angles, there's no reason for you to be scared about this position. And we just have Fabrice down on B and another player, I believe, by Hell, and that's it. They're just waiting. Such a slow play that could have had this bomb planted quite a while ago.
Well, better late than never, I suppose. See, Fabrice and Nick still at full HP. They've still got a couple guns to work with. No, they have a little bit of utility, but not really enough to completely take this site or allow them to transition through the doors. So I think they might end up saving here. And honestly, that's probably, I mean, it could go either way. They might want to do some economic damage, but they have a bit of a lead. I think on a 5-on-2, there's really not much you can do here.
I mean, Nick has a ton of dough, 4150, and Fabrice with the AUG, it's not worth just risking it.
No. And that bomb is going to tick down and explode as YeniCherry picks up their first round. And Nick actually got caught by the explosion there. So losing that gun they did have, not the best you'd like to see, but they still have a bunch of cash to rebuy. But at the same time, that's going to leave them with about like 2K or so, less than that actually. They're going to full buy out with the utilities, so that leaves them around at 700 after losing that off the bomb explosion.
Well, finally, we do have YeniCherry making their way here on Nuke. I mean, this is their map pick, so we should experience or expect some great plays and setups coming out of this squad. And a nice little smoke setup, completely cutting off any potential oppers, which there are none with this economic status here for all gas, no brakes. But they're chilling. They're cooling over on A, just waiting for the squad of YeniCherry. And we might have our first engagement. It's actually going to be Gertz finding two aggressive players over at HUD.
And that's very reminiscent of their play on Catwalk in the previous map. They were very confident in checking those corners. Kaki, though, puts David down. It's a 4-on-2 situation here with full AKs here for the YeniCherry squad. Ryuzaki's the only one out with a full rifle, and Geditor puts down Fabrice. So Ryuzaki going to try to hold on to this rifle if they can. They have $50 to their name, so they don't want to have to save if they can, but Kaki pulls out, crouches down, and gets the better of him as YeniCherry ties things up 2-2.
We're having a better advantage here coming out of YeniCherry, looking to still hold on to their slow plays, but that's making all gas, no brakes a little bit anxious as we saw those double stack into the hut.
And props again, both the Geditor, Brashy, I mean, for pushing out and taking those 1v2s, the timing really strong. They have that solid game sense turning into aim sense. And now we got that upper outside, push. As STX will find Kaki. Nice pickup there, considering they're on the pistol round. The more damage they can do, the better.
Gertz making their way through ramp. That has been a big-time heaven stack on the USP. Is an interesting one, to be sure.
Yep.
Well, you know, you want to play together when you don't have that great amount of firepower.
So far, so good for this eco for all gas, no brakes. And YeniCherry, it feels like they're playing against rifles right now with how like hesitant they are, despite knowing that they're up against USPs essentially. But now, because of that kill, Nick has picked up the AK. That hero rifle could be a very, very serious problem here for YeniCherry. They did get the bomb down nonetheless.
Koko still, or was trying to hold on. Geditor, the big pick over into Toxic, and now it's all up to Geditor to hold it down in the corner. and win the 3rd round. Here comes YeniCherry. Now they've got the momentum.
They've got it, but just for now. And honestly, I was even a little worried there because Nick had that rifle. I was like, oh, this is a 3-on-3 situation. He's won these before. But a nice solid push through the door. Couldn't get the spray transfer. Only so much you can do. Now YeniCherry bought out. They have Khaki on the op. Meanwhile, full rifles here for All Gas, No Brakes. Both teams essentially at even power here. It's all going to come down to strats and gunplay to win this.
Khaki hoping to get that angle with the op on the Marshmallow. David might actually go for a peek against this player if they... Ooh, they knew the second that they peeked out. It was lights out. Khaki making that opening pick, and it gives them cover to make their way into secret.
Minute 18 on the clock here. Things have slowed down once again on the Ryuzaki cam. 1-4 so far. Checking outside, no pay dirt. Gonna walk by Walter White there. That's a Breaking Bad room, you know, with the yellow like chemical suits there.
Yeah, the hazmats?
Yeah, you know, that's the Breaking Bad room, man.
That is the new call out now.
It's a new call out. It's a little wordy, but I think it'll catch on.
BB, if you want to shorten it. Breaking Bad.
There we
BB.
go.
Heisenberg.
That's why you're here, man. You got the good call outs. Actually, you're gonna take a little bit of damage poking out there, but still gonna fall back. 42 seconds left on the clock as 5-on-4 situation. Still full rifles here for YeniCherry as they're trying not to drop any of those, but still playing so slow here.
STX in the corner will beat the peeker and swinging out to find some more players themselves. They do put in a good amount of damage, but they won't walk out with another frag. We have one player, I believe someone got legged. At least Khaki
nice shot.
Tried to get a leg out onto their opponent, but Fabrice back into that same spot. Will not get a leg. That's going to be a chest. And that's going to be a 4th round here for YeniCherry. A little dangerous for this squad. They might have their stride.
Well, let's not count our chickens before they hatch, because this is exactly how the previous map went, and then all of a sudden, All Gas No Brakes won like 15 rounds in a row. So
well, okay, that's a possibility.
We'll see. But yeah, Fabrice unfortunately didn't check silos there, just kind of looking out towards the room, didn't check right below them, losing the round as a result. And now it's another eco round here. Say a bit of just pistols for All Gas No Brakes, as we've seen them do some damage on the eco round before. So again, this is a round that YeniCherry still has to keep themselves on 10s here to make sure they don't drop any more rifles and rebuy.
Fabrice hanging out looking for that 1 dig opportunity, but we got multiple players chilling on A side proper, waiting for any sort of push. Nobody chilling in terms of waiting in heaven looking for that hut angle, but this is just a good spread out default because we don't want to, or at least if you're on the side of All Gas No Brakes, you don't want to give up anything, and a good push from Ryuzaki finds the first. It will be traded out. They will have to be punished for that, but enough is enough to get that information. Fabrice now knows they're still in the lobby. There's still a chance for them to push over to him.
Yeah, Fabrice refused to move. STX pokes out and gets caught, misses that first shot on the entry, and Coco gets the better of him. Oh no, Nick almost had it, but they were all body shots. Now the 4-on-2 situation, still only pistols, a USP for David as they push out up towards heaven. Bomb's gonna go down. And now a huge advantage here for YeniCherry as they're looking for their 5th round win.
David tries to push out of heaven, gets taken out, but Fabrice is there to pick up 1. And it will be a 2-death round over here for YeniCherry. Not too much of a difference maker for them, though.
Not entirely, no. I mean, still a lot of money on the YeniCherry side here. They have, I mean, some of them have 5 digits, right? They got 5 figures to work with. But here come the buys from All Gas No Brakes. They're going to get some rifles. They're going to get an op on David, who has been a key player with the sniper, but has to make it happen here, and looking for an outside push. Not going to come their way just yet until Coco tries to jiggle around these crates. Might be the first victim of David's op, but those smokes are going to cover him for the moment.
Okay, backing up, David finds Brashy on top of Mini. They aren't able to get a second, but jumping down, STX is waiting to pick up the pieces because you know Mini is STX's domain.
It's now called STX, actually. I just checked with Valve. That's now the call out for that room.
Okay, yeah. All right. So we have Heisenberg and STX here.
I got him on speed dial. I'm making the changes as we go. Oh, nice shot there by Khaki, getting the best of Ryuzaki, who's been a little quiet on this map so far. 4-on-3 situation, though, still for all gas, no brakes. As they're looking for Khaki here to try and take the AWP out of their hands, but haven't been able to get that information as we hit the minute mark here.
Wait a minute.
On round 8.
Coco getting this angle on to David. No, what are you doing?
Oh, bro. Are you serious? Are you serious?
Is that going to be allowed?
He's going to get
No
right
way.
by.
No way, Coco! Are you insane? But now they're
Wow.
going to have that angle in heaven. Nobody is going to be expecting Coco to come from this angle, but once they do, there's Nick, and he's going to be the first one to fall, sending down the molly. No one can come and get that revenge, and that is going to allow them to push out over onto A. STX does find one before falling. Now it's a 2v2 in such a crazy scenario.
That put a smile on my face, man. That was just so well executed. You got to have the patience and the trigger discipline to take care of that and get it done. And you could see how David, after the kill, like turned around like, whoa, what? How did that possibly happen? And now in a 2-on-2 situation, still the AWP in Khaki's hands, still the AWP in David's hands. Oof, Febreze with one, Coco with another. 1-on-1 situation, no AWPs remaining.
Febreze with half their life. But, I mean, they do have the angle.
Oh,
he faked out the defuse, and Febreze is going to be able to get it. I believe so. Yes.
There it is.
All gas, no brakes. Takes back the reins, and this is looking like a familiar scoreline before disaster strikes.
It is. If everyone remembers Dust 2, this is pretty much where we were at in that first half. And even after that push, even after David kind of gets swindled there a little bit, what an immaculate play to clean things up. A nice 1-on-1 win for Breeze, looking really clean. All gas, no brakes, now within 2.
And they have lost that off control, but still, they are in control of the outside. A lot of smokes being planted, though. It wouldn't make it too viable anyway. David backing all the way up, might send some shots in the smoke, and he finds Gertz. Of course he does. He's David. He's gonna get their man. Coco manages to make it into Sneaky as well as the rest of the squad if they decide to, or a secret if they can make their way over onto B.
And even with this map control that YeniCherry has established somewhat, they're going to have to go back for the bomb to pick that up. So if they do want to like get something done here, they're going to have to keep that in mind. Molly's down. Going to push in towards lower onto site. Febreze is waiting. And the bomb is still not picked up, so Khaki now has to go back and rotate for it. And that's if this execute on the site even works out. Febreze is ready to go here with the AUG.
Well, it's a potential gamble. If it doesn't work out, then they have an option to rotate onto A, but that's not what you want to happen or have happen. And moving that up through the halls, they're hoping to have a good vantage point as soon as Getter opens this up. They're going to know. They're going to know the position. Molly's going to be there to cut off the players from hell, and that is going to be good. But Brashy saves the momentum, saves the bomb positioning as the rest of the squad from YeniCherry are out and here to converge on the B site.
Nick, though, once again, one last rifler remaining as the bomb's going to go down. Planted by Brashy. They have control of B site. STX, though, now making their way towards the big door. Going to be able to smoke out a little bit here, but now that's going to telegraph their push in. The frag's going to come out as a response, and STX gets actually a little bit of Getter, knows that they're there, and STX cleans up that kill. Now it's a 2-on-2.
Brashy hanging out in the corner, finds one with the help of that Coco flash, but Nick with a great headshot. It's now all up to him. The Molly on the bomb, but the position has been revealed. Moving away from the frag. They're going to hang out by the double doors. Coco going out for the swing, and they find it. The YeniCherry takes back their win.
Yeah, Nick trying to get in position to be just above the double doors, but gets caught out jumping. And that's some stopping power that you're not going to be able to deal with there. Now it's a 6-3 scoreline for YeniCherry as we head into round 10. The money's looking decent, pretty good for YeniCherry. They have $6,600 on Coco. The rest of the team's pretty decent on money here, but it's all gas, no brakes. We're going to actually save up a little bit despite having a little bit of cash. They're going to keep STX, and that's it.
Looking for some scout action here. A deagle here and there out the side of all gas, no brakes. But this is, once again, another slow default play we're seeing from YeniCherry.
And that's really no surprise. That's been their MO the entire series. They love slowing down the pace, waiting for the other team to come to them. It's, it's a double-edged sword a lot of the time, but so far it's been working out on Nuke, a map that coming into this we thought would be the all gas, no brakes favorite, right? It would be their map to win, their map to lose, really. But so far it's been YeniCherry's map all day with a 3-round scoreline. Looking pretty good.
There's been barely any interaction, but finally we're going to have it being smoked off. It's David out here in Mini, and Keditor and Brashy are lighting up A site, and this is just a slaughterhouse, as we would expect on a eco, but even so.
Now can David do it? 1v5. Does he make it happen? It's gonna be quite the ask here, but they've got the right weapon to get the job done. If there was anyone to do it with on a save round, this is it. But time is also against them. It's a 6v1 essentially in that regard. You can see poking out there is Brashy, who gets the timing, finds David, and it's a flawless round victory there for YeniCherry as they don't drop a single player on the eco for all gas, no brakes. So that's a pretty solid round win to make it 7-3.
Yeah, YeniCherry definitely holding on to their lead here, and that was just a great execute. It took forever for all the pieces to be put in place, but once you saw the puzzle come together, it was an instant that they took that site. And now finally we do have David back on the up, hoping to contest against Khaki, a threatening player, a threatening aura within this server. Are they going to be able to hold it down? STX potentially getting somebody through that squeaky door. Won't make a connection. They're holding on to Mini right now. And we have one player sneaking up. They're going to look away for the flash. The spray is good. STX still holding it down from Mini. And the players are just seeming to fall like flies on the side of YeniCherry. One player outside Coco, hoping to get this wraparound, hoping to find STX in the angle. But what is that timing? They're going to get taken down by David, who swings out from heaven with the up. And Khaki all alone, looking to save that off.
Now towards that minute mark, YeniCherry all relying on Khaki now. And in a 1v4, the AWP, you're not going to be able, you're going to be able to get that one kill, but will you be able to get away with much more after that? That said, Khaki might not want to drop this AWP either, like maybe just go for the save and try to get away from this. I think that might be the opportunity. If they even go for a shot here to try to get a kill, it's immediately going to give away their position. But all gas, no brakes is low on cash. So, if they can get another kill down, that's probably not the worst thing, even if you do lose the AWP. And look at this, Khaki going up towards heaven, and immediately the welcome mat is thrown down by David, who picks him up. Only one player goes down, that's Ryuzaki, for all gas, no brakes. And now they're going to start to buy up and get that utility in their belts here for this next push.
Slowly but surely, they're dwindling the economy of YeniCherry. Even Gertz right now, only 350. Khaki, 450. You lose this op right now, you are going to be in a world of hurt for the rest of this half.
And remember, this was YeniCherry's map pick, right? So right here, you should think they should have everything ready to go. And so far, that is exactly what we've seen. It's been indicative of that. All gas, no brakes, still within 3. Febreze just loving this AUG right here. I love that pick.
If it works, it works. Normally you wouldn't see it too much if they had AKs available, but they like what they like. And now Molly going through that smoke, blocking off anyone from even thinking about heading through Squeaky. And what do you know? What do you expect from YeniCherry? It's a slow default play.
I'm so shocked. I'm so shocked by this. I would never have expected a default from them. Oh, wow. I think David got hit a little bit by, I believe that was the smoke there, and then also got sniped. So just a little bit of a double one-hit punch there. 1-2 punch there. Jesus. There you go. Febreze going to fall back and has to. There's too many players pushing up, and when they decide to peek out, they pay the ultimate price. Keditor and Coco also getting on the board to make it a 5v1. Nick, once again, the clutch monster out here, but even these kind of odds are not one that Nick's going to take.
No, certainly not. This is an obvious save. As much as we would like an attempt here or like an amazing 1v5 clutch, it's not going to happen. The smart play at this point is just wait it out, bring the AK into the next round because, they're hurting. A few of their players are hurting in terms of that money situation.
Yeah, if the money was a little more secure, I would say, Nick, go for it. But, even if they do get a couple picks, Coco's the bank account here for YeniCherry right now at almost 6K. We'll be able to buy for anyone if they need to. Gettitor also at 4 figures as well. So if they're secure, if like all gas no brakes money was a little bit better, they could try to force a little bit more of an economic dent on YeniCherry, but it's not worth it. Nick wants to hold on to the rifle. Very smart to do so. 8-4 scoreline for YeniCherry.
And 3 more rounds left in this half. If my math is right, it is.
Don't look at me.
Yeah.
I was a history guy.
Oh, man. Well, and look where we are now here in Fragadelphia. But 3 more rounds left in this half. It's still possible for them to make this an 8-7 scenario going into the second half and moving on to the offense. But, I mean, it's all about what can all gas, no brakes do to prevent that delayed explosion. They're almost like a bomb themselves. They've been set off, and that's their default positioning, understanding what's going on in terms of all gas, no brakes' defense, and then the timer's up, boom, they explode onto the site.
See Ryuzaki hanging all the way back up there. Potential push towards lobby, potentially. Might not happen. YeniCherry is taking all the time in the world to make this happen. They have some information, but not a lot. And it looks like it's going to be enough, though, to push all the way in towards A site. And look at that. Nick swinging out, doesn't get that kill. STX steals it from them. Another shot finds Gertz, and the spray continues as Nick gets a third.
There's still some more players coming out from the hut.
No way.
After the USB.
No way.
He's going to pick up 2 for a huge 4K.
Wow. That is an all-star MVP play right there by Nick Holden. Just keeping all gas, no brakes alive in this map. Within 3 of YeniCherry. I hope we see that replay at some point, because what an impeccable play there by Nick.
Without a doubt, you know, that was a... I don't even know what was happening with Yeni. I guess they put in too much of a pressure on the regular entrances onto A site rather than having somebody lurk and put pressure on Mini, just relying on a bit of a smoke. But, you know, they didn't have that angle, and they didn't have the opportunity to win. But a huge nade against all gas, no brakes. They are really messed up at this point. Now they're going to have basically a free site.
Yeah, that bomb goes down pretty quickly. You know, even in this scenario, I would have expected YeniCherry to still take it slow. And for the first time, we're seeing them be like, all right, we're actually going to get kills and then like push on them and take it and work off of that, you know, and follow through. So it's great to see that from YeniCherry as they know things are starting to dwindle here in this first half. And here comes this push out, pass towards Vents. David looking for a potential push outside. That's not going to come their way. STX looking through. Instead, David actually does get that kill. It looks like it's coming their way nonetheless. And Coco's the first one to go down. STX also getting one. Ryuzaki getting one as well. And everyone's getting on the board. And how did this happen? YeniCherry, though, finally getting the pick and the round win.
Well, I mean, at least they made it a little costly for this final round of the half. There's a bit of utility that can be, well, that can't be bought here for YeniCherry by just forcing them to spend more money on that armor, on those rifles. But, you know, full buy coming out here from all gas, no brakes. I guess those exit frags worked out perfectly. Yeah,
they got to buy out here now that we're in the last round of the half. YeniCherry able to get away with that with just that one player alive. A lot of damage done, like you said, by all gas, no brakes. They are going to buy out here, David. Back on the op. You got to do it. Got to completely buy out utility-wise too. But yeah, like you said, YeniCherry at a bit of a disadvantage. They still, that said, have money to burn, and they are going to spend it. Big spenders across the board, almost full utility, as well as rifles getting pushed out. Both teams at full power here, but it's all gas, no brakes that's going to throw an op into their lineup.
That's what we've been waiting for. That's what I've been waiting for. David on the op is a force to be reckoned with, and if they can have him hanging out and making sure nobody is making a good play outside, that is going to be important. But they're looking up at Marshmallow. Haven't seen anyone get a peek from there.
Okay.
David is just going to back off at this point.
That's a smart move, right? I mean, those smokes are definitely telegraphing a bit of a push here. Even if you do want to kind of blindly fire through or put some pressure on, it's best not to lose that op if you can early. STX back in their territory. And look at that. The pullback from David confirms 2 kills. Ryuzaki also gets a third. Oh, that's a fourth. and STX cleans it up for the 5th. All gas, no brakes, does it flawlessly to make it a 9-6 scoreline going into the second half. That's not too shabby.
No, not bad at all, considering how slow of a start they had. At least you could see that big break of all T wins coming out from YeniCherry. So for them to be able to pull back 3 more rounds and put themselves in a secure position, it's not too bad. And we could expect them to potentially take some of that momentum. You know, you won the last round of the last half in quite easy fashion. Maybe they can bring it here onto this next pistol.
All gas, no brakes, though, they're the team that sets the pace. They're the one that conditions their opponents. So now that they're on T side, you're definitely going to see that speed and aggression come out. And Nick starting off things strong with that first kill, taking Brashy out of the fray very early here. Getiter does have that USB, and Gertz does as well as they're looking on towards silos on A site. Nice to get away from that flash. Looks away. Some damage done on all 3 players sitting on the site here. Febreze finds one, traded out. There's a couple. Both teams lighting things up, and now it's Nick versus Getiter. USP versus USP.
Oh, he's going for the defusal. Are you going to peek it, Nick? You gotta peek it!
Wow.
YeniCherry takes it. Nick does manage to get the frag afterthought, but that is not going to cut it. You need to make sure you're checking that bomb.
You know what they say, pros don't fake.
Certainly not. We're seeing that YeniCherry has a professional demeanor as they extend their lead 10-6 here on Nuke.
That's a rough loss there, right? Like that would have made it 9-7. A really huge morale booster for all gas, no brakes. And they lose that, especially off a defuse. Like to lose the 1v1's one thing, but to not check that could really hurt your mental.
Without a doubt, and now they're coming back with a vengeance. Galil's across the board. They have to face off. There is a scout on Khaki, but isn't going to make that much of a difference. We'll soon find out. Players on the outside waiting for the peaks. One peak from heaven, another from the shipping container is going to be Getiter. If they manage to get that initial pick, this could be deadly in terms of all gas, no brakes' hopes for this comeback.
And look at this really slow push back to pick up the bomb and rotate all the way back around towards lobby. Coco looking for this push, knows the pressure's coming their way and trying not to reveal too much of themselves before it comes. Now going to take this harsh angle on the right here. It's going to leave their left side exposed as they peek out, but it's worth it as they get that initial pick. But still, here comes the push, and Febreze immediately respond. That's how all gas, no brakes does it. But wow, Nick getting caught out outside.
That's not good. That certainly isn't a good move. I mean, Khaki also managed a pick of themselves earlier in the map with that scout, but at this point, they do have potential control here on B side, but the double doors are going to be open and dropping down. STX picks up the trade, but the bomb has been planted, waiting for a player to come through the fence, but Gertz is just too quick for STX to handle, and that is going to be another round here for YeniCherry. 11-6. They're creeping their way up to the map win here, Dak.
Yeah, I mean, Mirage is looking less and less like an illusion at this point and more so like an inevitability here as YeniCherry picks up another round win, 11-6 here. Only a few rounds away from forcing a map 3, our first one of the day. And that would be pretty welcome, I would think. But if you're on the side of all gas, no brakes, they've let a couple of these rounds slip through their fingers and allowing YeniCherry to keep this lead.
That's right, and now they're forced back into another eco round, and with this cycle, you know, if they lose their next buy round, it is all but certain we're gonna go to map 3. But hey, let's not count them out just yet as Febreze fires off that 1D onto Getiter. Now that is potentially a rifle if they can recover that. It might be just what they need to turn this round a round.
And that's a nice pick, too, because Getiter has 0 cash. You're forcing a rebuy out of them. Potentially, if they win this round, the eco for next round. Because look at the money is low. Despite having this lead, YeniCherry's not doing great economically. They pretty much have to secure this without losing any more bodies here. They don't want to give up these rifles. And all gas, no break has been unable to salvage here. So they're still holding on with pistols. And now things are getting close down to the wire here. So down below a minute, and now here comes the push. There's one, and it's getting cleaned up. The kill feed's going blue here as YeniCherry 4 kills to 1 there to clean things up. 3 players surviving. So economically, that's a solid round win there by YeniCherry, only losing 2 players, only 2 at the rebuy. And now they're at 12-6 with a solid double score lead here over All Gas No Brakes.
Yeah, if you're All Gas No Brakes right now, I would imagine you just have to do a mental reset because your strategies aren't really coming to fruition at this point. YeniCherry, though, they must be pretty confident about what they're going through right now. It must be pretty solid, you know? They have a great lead on a squad that had performed so well the last time they were on Nuke, and now this time, it's all about YeniCherry.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and David finds Getter as they try to cross over between the crates. Nothing covering him. Comes that Molly trying to get Kaki out, and it works. Flushes Kaki out, and Nick is able to pick up the kill. 5-on-3 situation. Op is out of play. Full rifles here for All Gas No Brakes as Ryuzaki's looking to potentially push towards B, but falls back. Doesn't really have too much backup just yet. Gonna wait until the rest of the team swings over, and that's certainly the move.
Okay, and now it does seem to be a full-on A push, but Coco hoping to have some magic there, but they're not going to. They're going to get caught out, and All Gas No Brakes is coming back here, making it 7-12. A flawless round, not a single rifle lost.
Yeah, critical round win there. And now at YeniCherry, do they buy out here, or do they save for these next few rounds? It looks like they're not going to go for a full buy. They have the money to do so, but again, it would put them pretty low. If they lose that round, they'd be pretty screwed economically, and would allow All Gas No Brakes to bring in, or I guess get back into this map. So this has to be right here a flawless victory for All Gas No Brakes. They can't afford to lose any of these rifles really. And meanwhile, YeniCherry doing the right thing, saving when they have such a big lead.
Even with Coco, you know, deciding to go for that hero SMG.
Yeah, the hero SMG.
Not often talked about. The hero SMG with that
underrated story.
Okay, well, actually, it seems they will make a larger commitment into this round, pulling out some rifles with that M4 from us.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have full Kevlar and helmets across the board. It's a curious half buy because they really don't have to do this. They have such an advantage here, but they're deciding to spend money nonetheless.
All the rounds they have to play with, that being five-round advantage on your opponents. You have some wiggle room in order to preserve your long-term commitments. But Coco, not looking to make a commitment over there, backing up with the MP9, hoping to preserve their lives, or at least the SMG for a later retake. But a lot of players on the outside, even Kaki, waiting in the depths of Secret for anyone to try and extend a push into there.
Yeah, this is slowed down once again. Meanwhile, on the outside, both David and Nick, I don't think they know that Kaki's on the staircase right there. Oh, but he doesn't get that first kill. That one tap needed to happen. Kaki has to fall back while taking a little bit of damage, down to 74 HP. Nick also took some shots at 90, David at 77. So that outside push has slowed down because, I mean, at this point they know they don't want to fight Kaki outright. And then also the rest of their team's kind of starting to rotate in, potentially towards an A push. Or B push, sorry.
And Coco here with a cross. The flash comes out. Oh no, but Coco and Getter are holding it down. STX does pick up one, but now Getter stuck in the corner. Now it's a 3v3. This might have the opportunity to try and push their way into B site if they make that commitment, but I don't think it will be so.
All Gas No Brakes. I mean, against this half buy, would like to have more members of their team alive. STX was at like no HP. No surprise that they're able to get clubbed down. And then look at that, Gertz. Brashy picking up really solid kills there. Now 13-7, that half buy ended up being the right move.
That's right, yeah, it was that cross angle of the players in ramp. That was huge. It allowed them to take out two, remove that pressure, and put in a ton of damage onto STX.
STX kind of, you know, that throne in mini is rusting away a little bit here.
Yeah,
having some trouble holding down.
I think so. We might have to work on changing that name again, but we gotta see if they can push through Squeaky. Smoke is there, gonna cancel out that Molly, and Brashy backing up, actually dropping down, potentially looking for a new angle there in Squeaky. Jumping through the vents will actually back off. Might make a move into Secret to support any players from the outside.
And David still lingering out. Yeah, Nick is hanging out at a silo. might have a bit of an engagement here on the outside, but Getter decides against it and pulls back in, walking through the smoke and ends up getting a mollied and shot at. A bunch of kills coming for All Gas No Brakes. STX joins the fray. Now Coco is so far away from their team, so far removed from the action, they get sent by themselves, cut down outside, and now it's an 8-13 scoreline. All Gas No Brakes still trying to build up momentum, but at the very least, they're not out of it. They're trying to keep pace. It's within 5 rounds, but they're not out of it.
That's right. A small victory isn't going to be enough here, but if you accumulate them, as we've seen All Gas No Brakes do, then we might actually have them come back here. The Molly's going to cut off, and actually a little bit of a misstep in terms of that placement. It forces them to back away from that angle on Hut. Febreze, first one to open things up. Khaki, the outside offender, has been taken down. I couldn't say that with a straight face. Has been taken down, and now there's a little more presence outside. Dak, take it.
There you go, there you go. Brashy with that one rifle here, the 5-on-4 up against them. Gonna be difficult. But Getter's gonna drop down now, and it looks like Brashy's gonna join them as well as they're starting to get surrounded a little bit. Gonna fall back onto the site itself, trying to hide as much as they can. Because Coco is, once again, away from the team. Gettitor finds when they trade out. Ryuzaki goes down. Gettitor for 3, I believe, or 2 or 3 at least. That's some huge picks.
Coco turning this into a 1v1. STX has the bomb moving through outside. And potentially, is this going to be a secret play? Is this going to be an A play? They're looking toward heaven, but that's not where your target is. He doesn't know. It's Coco back in
1-on-1.
Hell, looking to wrap around into Mini.
Oh, we've been here before. STX has to make sure they turn around at least at some point. No, and they do not. Coco stealing that round away. 14-8, YeniCherry. They're looking to go to Mirage, my friend.
It's seeming to be that way, Dak, and they do have the money to keep themselves in this fight with some buys, with some utility, but when you can give up a round like that, that is just unfortunate.
And that's honestly been the story of this map, I think, has been a lot of these rounds are just slipping by All Gas No Brakes, really hard, close losses that you'd like to have and have not gone their way. Multiple rounds like that. Even starting towards the beginning on that, where Nick doesn't check the defuse, that rounds like that start to stack on you. With the 14-8 scoreline here, YeniCherry is absolutely smelling blood in the water.
Gettitor in a familiar position that we've seen Khaki in before, but hanging out with the M4 in secret, looking for any potential information. Just barely missed, sighting someone on Marshmallow, goes in for a quick peek, backs off, doesn't see anything, or at least doesn't see enough to act on.
Oh, Gettitor gonna fall back. It's a molly right on their shoes. Nick might end up challenging Khaki, but I'm not even sure if they know that the AWP is up there just yet. The information is pretty low here for All Gas No Brakes. They're trying to maybe push out towards the outside. Eventually they get in, and they are welcomed here by the rifle Brashy.
Brashy finds 2, but now the bomb will go down. Has been planted, and now we're in a 2v2. Coco is severely damaged coming through Mini. It finds 1 with the help of Gettitor, and now Febreze just has to swing this, isolate the fights. If you can find 1, but he couldn't get it. He couldn't secure that kill. And now we're finding YeniCherry on map point here on Nuke.
YeniCherry is so good overall with these rotations, getting behind All Gas No Brakes. How many times have we seen All Gas No Brakes players getting shot in the back this map, right? They are really good at getting in position where All Gas No Brakes is not checking. Even Febreze there had to end up swinging into a 50-50 angle push there. And if they didn't get that initial kill, or if they did get that initial kill, they're likely to get killed by Heaven. But you got to have that spray down. He was also moving a little bit while crouching, so you had a little bit of that movement inaccuracy. But YeniCherry now on map point here, looking to push this to Mirage.
They don't want that to happen. It's going to be All Gas No Brakes sprinting out onto site, decimating YeniCherry. It's all up to Coco right now to trying to win this 1v4 for the win.
Ooh.
And with such a lead, Is a save even necessary? Is the save worth it? And I think, yes.
Yes.
They're going to go for the save.
Looking at the money, I think it's absolutely worth holding on to this rifle here, especially the utility, too. Looks like someone's going to get burned, and Febreze catches Coco as they're trying to make a play. All gas, no brakes, picks up another round, and it was necessary. Now 9-15. YeniCherry might look to potentially just go for a slight eco round here. They still have a huge margin. They can afford to give up a couple rounds. The money's looking pretty low, so they can't buy too much.
No, definitely not. If you overcommit to purchases on this eco round, you're going to find yourself stuck and stuck again in low money scenarios. But I mean, you have room to work with. All gas, no brakes needs to secure 6 rounds in a row. Not out of their realm of possibilities, of course, but
Definitely
still
not.
a very hard thing to do if they even want to secure overtime.
Yeah, they've done it on this map. They've done it on previous maps, getting really long win streaks here. But we've seen YeniCherry's half buy is still pretty potent. You know, they can get it done with just a rifle and like FAMAS or whatever, you know, like they're able to get done a lot of work with very little. And all they need is a single kill here to pick up a 3rd rifle or a 2nd rifle and a 3rd main gun. So in that way, YeniCherry doesn't have to do too much to actually win this round.
Some aggression, Kaki hanging out in this corner. Oh, through the smoke, it's going to be Ryuzaki taking out Getiter, who has been such a pain in the side of all gas, no brakes. But if they actually decide to commit on this, going to open the door, but no one's there. Swinging out, STX expected something like this. Ryuzaki and STX are holding it down. They are not going to be pushed.
Whew. All gas, no brakes will push this to an additional round here, 15-10. And they're starting to feel it. They're starting to get that momentum going, and that's when they are at their scariest. And now YeniCherry is forced to eco here. They have no other option. They can't even half buy here. So this should be an all gas, no brakes round win.
A lot of players set up over by Mini, or is that in Vents? Oh no, Mini and or Vents. Hard to see with that
General
X-ray.
area. Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Mini. There we go. Thank you. Swinging back out. It's going to be Gertz who gets that first pick, but Nick 1-2 before they go down. So at the 3-on-3, I mean, so far so good for YeniCherry. They're doing a lot of economic damage, taking out 2 rifles. If they can pick one up, that completely changes the game.
Well, here's our lurker, Ryuzaki, about to find Coco, unless the timing just isn't right. Now they can move through Secret, and they might have a good timing, might have a good strategy against the players who are moving through Secret. Yes, Getiter gets taken down. Ryuzaki has cut off all the escape angles here, and Bresci can't clear him out. It's all up to Coco with a USP and a Dream, but most likely they're going to be stuck here. They might even be hunted down.
Overall, a really solid play by All Gas, No Brakes. Not only getting the bomb down, but cutting off half the map outside. So you can't just immediately swing into Mini and try to put pressure on there. Ryuzaki in a perfect position to stop that from happening. And even though they do lose 2 players here, if they can just hold on to the rest of these 3 rifles, they should be good. And Coco is like, nah, not worth the fight. I'm not trying to scrap here. And they're going to fall back as that bomb explodes. All Gas, No Brakes. They were down 7. They were down 6. They were down 5. Now they're within 4. It's looking a lot more manageable now.
They used to be down bad, but now, now they're looking pretty good.
They were down extra bad, and now not as horrendously down bad.
No,
Definitely not. Sorry, I just had to pulverize that joke into the ground.
No, I appreciate it. It was good. It was good. It was worth it. But now 2 players jumping onto Marshmallow, looking to ensure the air superiority, or at least the height advantage on the outside. But on the inside, Febreze putting in the work here. Febreze is going to keep it coming. Where did they even come from? What is this player doing? It will be Brashy who puts that run to rest in Mini, but this is all up to Brashy and Gertz at this point. They spend money to get these rifles, and they are falling like flies.
And it looks like it might end up being a B push here. Yep, it's definitely going to happen. You can see YeniCherry expecting that A push, and now they're going to have to start to swap out. You can see David all the way in that pocket position for potential push towards ramp. It looks like Gertz, Brashy are going to go in towards vending machines through the lobby. Instead, actually, Brashy can go upstairs. Gertz then going to swing back out outside. A lot of time taken here, and I think they might not even yeah, they're not even going to push it. That's the move. On a 4-on-2, they still have some rounds to make this happen, but because the money is so low, they cannot afford to lose these rifles.
Ooh, nice exit out from Brashy. Well, you're totally right, Dak. This is a dire situation. The cash flow on YeniCherry is little to none right now.
Yep.
One player with 0, 2 with 100, 1 with I don't know what it was, but they only got 3. They only got 30-50 now.
Yeah. Now they got that that loss bonus to come in and help them out. That's the thing is that YeniCherry has the lead, but they're like struggling to keep up money-wise. Which now this is where all gas no breaks can apply the pressure, because every round win kind of forces an eco or a save out of YeniCherry in the next round, right? So this is where all gas no breaks. This is where they start to butter their bread, so to speak, and really start to get aggressive. They can be more confident here against this half buy on YeniCherry.
Yeah, no real utility on the side of YeniCherry to stop any pushes, stop any plays, no mollies, no nothing. They're just holding angles, hoping for some sort of great play, a great timing, a great lineup. This has been a deadly cross that we've seen before. If all gas, no breaks falls prey to it once again, could be YeniCherry's advantage.
And they're actually going to push away from outer as STX finds Getter. They'll go down. There's another one, Ryuzaki and Febreze combining, and it looks like they're going to go for this hold here on A site. That's YeniCherry's going to take it slowly but surely. They still have those 2 rifles, but again, they cannot afford to have to save and rebuy here for the next round. And no, a very wide swing there. Nick will get the kill, traded out there by Brashy, 4-on-2.
Kaki, nowhere to be found, just hanging out below. Maybe searching for a potential rifle pickup, but at this point, I'm not sure what the strategy is for that player. They're going to walk right into Ryuzaki, and all gas, no breaks, 2 rounds away from OT.
This is now looking scary for YeniCherry. This is the all gas, no breaks we've come to expect, where they start to roll this momentum, and the snowball is starting to pick up speed. It's starting to pick up some ice and rocks as it goes down the mountain. And YeniCherry knows, like, all right, we can't, like, we have to force buy here. Like, we have to end this right now. But this is so risky. If they lose this round, that could be it. That could be OT.
Could be, because they have 2 ops on deck. They've committed a serious amount of cash here. If it doesn't work out for them, the op is noticed. They realize that it's there. But SDX is the first one to fall in an attempted push here onto A site. They have realized that most of these angles on the outside are going to be covered, but Ryuzaki made it down into the tunnels and might even secure B site for the rest of their squad.
Nick and Febreze, positive KDs leading this squad here. Ryuzaki's been quiet for the most part throughout the series, really. And things have once again slowed down YeniCherry style. Outside, seems like it's mostly uncontested here, but Ryuzaki is going to start pushing in through. Potentially even towards heaven here, as David might make a look towards B. Coco also looking in, can't find anything. Shots going down, Getter gets 1, and that's going to be a second kill coming in here by, I believe, Gertz, making it 5-2.
Oh, David taking out 1 of the 2 ops on hand for YeniCherry. Not taking any damage either. There's a second one waiting around that corner. If they could win that fight or even avoid the fight, this might be doable, but Ryuzaki going down to 1v4. This just seems so unwinnable, but David picks up a second one. It's 1v3. The bomb has the potential to go down. They hit the fake, and there's the peek out from Toxic. If you can eliminate that angle.
Can he do it? That's 2.
He finds 1. He's got 2 more. 2 more. The plant has to be good. It's got to be good because the time is about to run out. They get away. They still in this, but no! YeniCherry stops the clutch. They stop the dream, and we are going to go to map 3 of Mirage. Who is going to be able to come out on top as we jump in to map 3 of Mirage?
All gas, no breaks. YeniCherry, it's 1-1. It all comes down to this. One of these teams is advancing to the next round and winners. One of these teams going to have to make it way through losers. And yes, we're getting a knife round. Thank you so much. I love to see these. There we go. The blood's been shed, and YeniCherry taking that dub. Thank you so much for showing me that. I love the knife round.
I wasn't even sure that was the knife round. I was like, wow, they were really just sending it. They were really just going.
Yeah, that overnight send right through the stack. Yeah, no, we got that knife round. And we are going to get a side pick here. Mirage. Finally getting to see this map come into play.
Yeah, I wonder who is going to take which side. We do have YeniCherry opting for that CT side. Actually, it will be all gas, no brakes, opting for that CT side.
Okay, you know what? I mean, I think at this point we've seen that all gas, no brakes like really does like the ability to set the tone in T side, but maybe they just want to pick up as many early rounds as they can on CT.
Yeah, you know, they want to make sure they could bring out all of their aggression on the second half, because it certainly isn't going to happen here on the defense, because you know YeniCherry, we all do. They take their time, and if they walk in right into those dualies out from David, you know, he was hoping it was going to be a little bit different. The nade doesn't make too much of a connection. The jump now, but Ryuzaki coming from the arches is putting down the pain. Breeze swinging back to an angle that they thought they already covered. They're going to be taking out Brashy, the one player who moved through catwalk, coming through arches as well. All gas, no brakes has their number, and they will be taken down.
That is a big win. Pretty sure it says YeniCherry wins the round, but we know that it was I believe an all gas, no brakes pickup there. And that is a solid round win. I mean, Ryuzaki, that's one of those situations where you don't have to do damage necessarily by getting kills outright, you know? Like, instead, they took themselves out of the fight. They made sure that they couldn't be seen, and then Ryuzaki rotated through arches to get that kill on the 90-degree angle. A very solid pickup and a really smart play there by Ryuzaki.
And now we're jumping to the other side of the map. Multiple players making their way through palace. We have one coming through A main, but lots of default defenses. Ooh, Nick finding two headshots against those attackers. The aggression has been halted. Coco, the last one with the deagle, does take out Ryuzaki, but that will probably be all they're able to get if the pressure is applied.
Nick with almost no HP, just outside the site here. Coco by themselves, a deagle and a dream. Going in towards mid potentially, but deciding against it, gonna fall back towards spawn instead. Really just trying to hold either angle here. They're both really long angles. With the deagle, you can definitely hold them until maybe a full stack comes, but looks like it's gonna be a full push in towards spawn here. Coco's gonna hold that, and of course STX is gonna hold this connector angle, which Coco's not gonna put pressure on, but likely it's gonna be Nick or David that's gonna end up being the first contact here for Coco as they push in back towards stairs, over towards A site.
Yeah, you know, we find ourselves in a position where, at least for all gas, no brakes, there's no sense in pushing this. There's no reason to potentially throw away one of your guns, even if it's an MP9. There's no reason to throw it away. Oh, David. Gotta find a nice little headshot with from us. Looking pretty clean. Take it down, Coco. 2 rounds going to all gas, no brakes.
That's a nice start there. Having those 2 rounds, likely going to be able to convert this to a third. It's usually how these games have gone so far. All gas, no brakes, really solid. At least they've had a wingman with them, every player, making sure they're not forcing 1v1s. Like you said, not forcing into a situation where Coco can take one-on-ones with the deagle, etc. Very smart play so far by all gas, no brakes.
But a mid-play Brashy almost dropping Febreze out on Cat, but it won't work out. Kaki still here, looking for that trade, but it will not be given. Taking that advantage, taking that initial frag. Actually, David still holding it down. What a smoke kill from mid-window. Yeah. They're still going to play their lives on that.
Yeah, it looks like Gertz was trying to put some pressure from lower into window there. Gets caught out. The smoke took away their line of sight, and the FAMAS took away their life. It's a 5-on-3 situation here. All gas, no brakes. Looking to try to remove these rifles out of the hands of YeniCherry and look for a third round now. And you can see YeniCherry mostly split up from one another. I mean, Coco and Geditor are going to swap bomb there, and now they're going to start to split up. No hunt coming out from all gas, no brakes. Again, very patient, letting the fight come to them.
It's all about who is able to get that angle first. Ryuzaki adjusting the position to wait for the swing. They must know somebody is walking through connector. Kaki taking no chances at this point, doing the quick clears, even checking behind, hoping nobody is there for the flank. They're holding it down, I guess, waiting for the pressure to be applied from Palace. There comes a nade out from main, and Kaki gets the swing onto Ryuzaki, and it's good. A second one falls due to Kaki, and they have a potential bomb plant position. One player by the ticket booth. The bomb's going to go down. It's going to be a fake, though. No one will take the bait.
Now it'll finally go down here. 3-on-3 situation. Palace still being held. Connector as well. Coco and Kaki combining, and then Coco with another one. A well-executed round there by YeniCherry that all came off that Kaki swing in the connector, but the only reason that was possible is because Palace was already taken. If Palace wasn't held, if those angles weren't cut off, he wouldn't have been able to swing out towards connector and safely get those kills. Kaki and Coco firing on all cylinders there for the first round win for YeniCherry.
Yeah, and a great time to do it because it's forcing All Gas No Brakes to lose their money advantage. You know, they didn't have any weapons to bring into round 4, so forcing out the save. We have some deagle shots out from David. Coming from mid-window, what else can they do? He's forced to get away. Geditor having that absolute mid-control. Maybe just a little bit of a sliver of looking into Catwalk, but it's not going to be enough if you want real control.
Solid amount of utility on YeniCherry's squad here. I'm going to throw out some smokes. Lower being held by Gertz, who's looking in towards mid-window here. No one's going to give him a head to shoot at, so he's going to move in towards connector. Gets flashed a little bit. Open to mid-window, but still able to push through. And meanwhile, Ryuzaki now pushing in through Palace. Going to have some action on the other side of this corner if they push out now, but they don't. Instead, they're waiting and biding their time and might have actually heard those steps up there. Back towards spawn, and now the drop down towards stairs. You can tell immediately All Gas No Brakes starting to fall back a little bit. Nick holding. Deegs doesn't get that kill, but David does.
Now Ryuzaki, the wait paid off. They have the opportunity to come through from Palace and potentially, oh, the knife's out. The knife's out. They're not gonna, are they gonna commit it? Yes, they get the knife. And now an AK, a second one follows up. There's two in the firebox. He does manage to get another, but they have been revealed. Their position is known. They can get the shots down. Maybe All Gas No Brakes can come back, but Brashy and Geditor are too strong, even in the face of a surprise attack like that.
It looked like it almost might have slipped away, but YeniCherry picking up that second kill. Ryuzaki had such an angle there. The first kill, obviously, with the knife. The second kill all the way towards box. We're going to see that replay. Takes a chunk out of that shoulder blade. The second follow-through, but they can't convert on those two lower kills there with the spray transfer. Could have been the end of YeniCherry right then and there.
It was a great opportunity created by Ryuzaki, but even enough to hurt them and force them to buy some rifles, because now they aren't really flush with cash at this point on the side of YeniCherry, but this is still a crucial must-win round out here for All Gas No Brakes.
Absolutely. Very low utility. Febreze has the op, so no money to burn in this next round. I mean, they'll have a little bit of a bonus. That's about it. A little bit of cash to work with. 2-2. Maps are tied up. Rounds are tied up. Both teams very hesitant to push out. Not a lot of information gained, except now All Gas No Brakes. They have mid control. That does give them some good information here. They can continue to push up off that, or they can try to rotate towards the other site here for a potential B-site push that doesn't come their way. Instead, there's the kill for Geditor, and now that mid portion of the map completely opens up here for YeniCherry.
Oh no, Febreze misses the shot, and he will lose the up. It's all up to STX, the lone survivor here on B-site with the MP5, hoping to try and keep themselves in the game. They aren't allowed to live much longer as the bomb's going down, and it's all up to David and Nick.
It's going to be hard. They're both pushing in through kitchen. No one's at arches, no one's at apartments. They have pretty much two angles they can hold, and one gets caught off by Amali immediately. They're going to fall back here with two rifles. That's the move. That's all they're going to be saving, but considering they have such low money, Nick's at $100. There's no reason to force this with just one angle to hold. Very smart. So YeniCherry is going to do the right thing and look out for a little bit, but they're not going to go hunting, and they will take this round as that bomb ticks down. It should be a 3-2 lead now here for YeniCherry.
Smart move not going for hunting, just to keep those rifles, because even if you do manage to take one out, you know, your economy is more important at this point. If you hunt, you're giving the advantage over to All Gas No Brakes.
It's certainly an environment right now where both teams are on the fringe with money, so the hunt can go either way for sure. Now a 3-2 situation for YeniCherry as they take the lead for the first time here on this map, and they're going to go for a 4-1 split. A little bit of a stack towards B until they split up, sending at least one towards mid, a little bit of information gain, but the smoke cuts off mid, so they're going to back up, and look how far Gertz is going, potentially take an angle here at Van.
Flame there going to prevent the full-on rush. Actually, they're going to back off now. The smoke providing too much cover. They'll have to back, maybe potentially go for a long rotation. The smoke is going to cut off David from having any sight down mid. Now it's a much slower play than we originally anticipated, even for YeniCherry.
Yeah, I would agree there. Completely slowing things down. YeniCherry looking for a potential push through stairs over towards A. They're going to smoke connector, which forces Ryuzaki to peek out. Nick gets one, Nick gets two, and now it's a 5-on-3.
Ooh, the two angles that they have to cover, the indecision there will lead to Nick's downfall. Gertz going and putting that bomb down. We have one player creeping up. It's going to be STX, the 5-7 in hand. Now it might be a potential for an AK-47 if they push up, but no, right at the moment of peeking, Brashi comes out and takes down two, and it's up to Ryuzaki. One shot with this scout, if it makes a connection, will be it. Brashi has a world of hurt, a world on his shoulders, but they get the win. YeniCherry holds their lead.
That is a clincher right there. YeniCherry affording themselves 2-round wins. Comes down to the 1v1, and yeah, Ryuzaki with just the scout really doesn't give him a lot of leverage in that fight there. Really solid play. And honestly, I love how YeniCherry just completely smoked out, cut off connector, and they kind of forced out whoever's sitting there. Ryuzaki was forced to kind of make their way and get flushed out of connector, otherwise they wouldn't have been effective. Solid play by YeniCherry, using that utility to condition all gas, no brakes, and where they have to go.
Flash out on mid. Another one follows up. Line Ryuzaki push on the back up. First time we've seen Ryuzaki on the op, but a classic move out here for David. Finds one. Another one behind that box. They have the move to jump through into ladder room, so might be a surprise attack for those players if they want to push down Cat.
Losing Getiter. Not a massive loss. They still have some rifles to go here. But against that op, it's not a great position to be in. Still things slowed down. Most of YeniCherry is actually kind of separated now. Only the bomb swap for Kaki and Coco before they meet up, and it looks like they're going to try to rendezvous here with Gertz over up in apartments. And that could be pressure heading over towards STX. I mean, Febreze will be able to rotate immediately, but it's a potential 3-on-2 that could even the odds here. And then with the fourth player, Brashi, to join the fray from mid, this might actually work.
And here comes the execute. The shots aren't good, but Febreze is here to pick up the pieces, almost taking down the second player to jump out, but Kaki is going to play and stay alive. The op shot is going to miss, and Kaki stays alive, and it's all up to Nick to clutch out a 1v3. There is Kaki, who's very low at this point, but it is such a tall task for them to try and climb out of the hole here on round 7, but one is going to go down, maybe even a second, but no, Brashi is still good.
And that went exactly, how we were expecting, right? You had that stack towards B site before all gas, no brakes. Defense could entirely rotate over. Meanwhile, that Arch's position held down by Brashi. Gertz leading the way through apartments, perfectly well executed. And even though Nick had an opportunity to potentially bring it back, the spray just wasn't there. It was a really hard hill to climb. And now it's a 5-2 advantage here for YeniCherry, who are starting to run away with it. And look at that loss bonus that's starting to build up here for all gas, no brakes.
And so it seems, this is one of those similar score lines we've seen, 2 and 5. I mean, this is a potential launch pad that we've seen all gas, no brakes on, but I mean, the equipment's not there. The guns aren't there. This is still a very difficult time that they find themselves in. And a big commitment last round. What was it, 2 ops?
Yeah, it was at least 1. I don't know if it was 2, but it was at least 1 for sure. Now 5 rifles here for YeniCherry. All gas, no brakes, going to go on the eco. Not even a half buy. I don't think we've seen all gas, no brakes half buy at all, just not their MO. YeniCherry is the team that's willing to do that. but no stack, right? They're still playing a mostly default position despite playing on an eco with just mostly pistols here, which I think is definitely indicative of just like that confidence they have as a team. And they can pick up that one rifle. We've seen it completely change the tide of this fight. But I do like that they're mostly situated on mid. That's where they can really hold the most angles and still cover each other without having to overcommit towards Palace or Apartments. Overall, they're holding it pretty well, but here comes some flashes out mid.
Molly cutting off holding connector low. Ryuzaki taking a bit of burns there. And they have to back off with that Deeg. Just looking for any sort of opportunity to come out on top. Brashy, though, it's a dangerous angle to be playing up here, at least if you're on the side of all gas, no brakes. Smoke going to dissipate out on mid. Now David will be exposed, or at least he has the information to see that nobody is there on mid. They're all pushing through A main, except for Brashy, who's going to make that turn. No! Gertz is going to spot out Nick. The spot will not work out. The little cheeky angle with the SMG is snipped out. And while all these players on the side of all gas, no brakes fall, David does manage to squeak out a kill onto Gertz.
Yeah, that's such a harsh angle to hold. You have to have a perfect reaction time to be able to continue to hold that angle. Coco, Brashy, all combining here. Everyone getting some kills or assists. And YeniCherry making it look easy. That said, though, they lost a bunch of players, so they're going to have to rebuy just a little bit. The money, that said, is looking pretty clean. I mean, Brashy had almost 10K there. Coco and Kaki almost had 10K as well before these rebuys. So they can afford to lose those rifles and rebuy here. All gas, no brakes. That said, did some pretty solid damage on their eco round, which is what we've come to expect from this team throughout the series.
Yeah, taking them down to 2 players is quite solid when you're just working with Eagles at this point, but now we have finally an aggressive push coming out from YeniCherry. They're flooding out of the apartments, but no one is there to greet them. We have STX hanging out on a nice little shot from Arches along with Fabrice, and Fabrice continuously through the smoke is going to cut down their numbers. He has a boost on top of the block, so they aren't expecting it. They aren't shooting in that spammable location. The bomb has been planted, but
wow.
All gas, no brakes. They're going to plant their foot down and say no. But Kaki won't allow them to do it so easily, taking down 2 before being dropped themselves.
Yeah, YeniCherry was definitely expecting a more default hold by all gas, no brakes, but it just so happens that all gas, no brakes already had a bunch of their players more so rotated towards that site. They immediately had shots they could fire on. It wasn't a situation like a previous few rounds where they had to take a couple seconds to get like 3 players to rotate over from the other side towards A, or from A towards B. So in that scenario, they had the perfect position. Of course, that Arches shot, that angle was crucial in holding that, especially against a full site stack to apartments. And now both teams resetting. A little bit of pressure immediately goes up mid. Kaki actually getting a bit too overcommittal, trying to get some pressure on that left angle on mid, and they pay the ultimate price as a result.
Fabrice there to pick up the pieces when David misses the off shot. One goes down, but another follows on the opposite side, and it's still an equalizer. 4v4 here on round 10. And they are able to keep the op in hand, which is a crucial tool if they want to hold on to their positions here.
That mid-window trade-out does really help out, because now YeniCherry can push all the way up mid. They still have no idea where the rest of the CTs are, but they can start to coalesce towards B and again force this 4v2. Where, as we saw earlier, all gas, no brakes is not in the position to fully rotate over. They still have a bunch of members on A. It's going to be a 4-on-1 on B until someone joins them as SDX goes down.
SDX falls, and that will be the site. A flash goes right into Mark, but it's not going to matter because there's pressure from another angle. It will be Nick. Bring them down to 3. However, they will not commit to this play. Leave to save another day.
This is what we saw in the previous map, right? Where all gas, no brake can kind of keep up. They're setting a pace a little bit. But now we're in a position where YeniCherry can trade rounds. They have such a lead where, okay, we'll take a round, you take a round, we'll take a round. They'll win that war of attrition over time, even with just a 3-round going to a 4-round lead. So while this isn't completely out of the realm of possibility, of course, for all gas, no brakes to bring this back, from what we've seen previously in the series, YeniCherry is really solid at working with a lead. Their half buys are really effective, so they can maintain that eco and not necessarily give away eco rounds to all gas, no brakes. They try not to, right? Or all gas, no brakes has no problem going for the full eco round. YeniCherry tries to avoid giving a full eco round as much as they can. They want the full buy or the half buy whenever possible.
Yeah, and we have seen All Gas No Brakes be able to dig themselves out of holes, but YeniCherry is just great at responding to that attempted climb. You know, you take one off of us, we'll take one off of you, and then two more.
And this is a full A stack here from the T side. Through Palace, you see that entry from Kaki, takes a bunch of damage and is going to be hit with the welcome mat. A bunch of shots laid down. The AWP is clean. David for 2. Nick has one under their belt as well, and the blind fire through the smoke almost completely puts down Gertz. They're at 10 HP as a result, and then finished off by Nick, who gets a second after that. A total of 3 kills overall, 2 players, 5 in total, and again, all gas, no brakes, keeping it within 3.
That's what they do. They maintain themselves at least close to their counterpart of YeniCherry, and well, if they can continue to find momentum, you know, they're forcing YeniCherry into an eco round. This could be good. This could be the moment that they are able to launch pad themselves further.
Oh, Coco taking a lot of damage. Brashy goes, wow! David, 2 quick ones there with the AWP. And then a third coming out from Nick. And that means the entirety of the T side on the A side is completely reduced to nothing. Same thing through mid, and they lose another player. I mean, everyone from YeniCherry just completely separated here as they go for a really light to no buy on this round. It should be a flawless round here for All Gas, No Brakes, and it is.
And it will be, yeah. If you would paid attention to the mini-map, if you guys saw in your corner, you would see that Getiter had just ran onto B site.
Literally
just
sprinted there.
A wild play, but they didn't last too long there.
Sometimes that the 50-meter dash, you know, it could be worth it, but you make a lot of noise, and there's no baton to pass. Here we go. There's another 3-2 split, but it is going to favor Not Towards Apartments to mid. That's completely smoked and flashed out. Molly behind the boxes, and they're going to go for a huge connector push here, and Getiter's not going to survive it. Kaki, though, will get revenge, and that's actually going to combine to the push on A site because they now have connector, Palace, site control, stairs control. It was a risky move, but it pays off.
David trying to clear things out through the ticket booth, but STX walking through jungle. Manages to find Kaki, someone who's been causing a lot of trouble, a lot of ruckus this round, but you got to make sure that nobody's in connector. The swing has been checked, but it's not going to be good enough. Now they know that Brashy's there. Brashy's good for 2. Brashy might even be good for 3, but they're going up against the AWP, and with all those angles covered, it doesn't matter what type of gun you have, you are done.
Nice little drop shot there in connector. And that all started off with such an aggro connector push, right? They lost the player going in there. But by doing so, they secured connector. They secured the site entirely. They held all angles just off that aggressive mid-push, which looked so risky, but paid off in the end. And All Gas, No Brakes was not at all expecting that.
No, certainly not. But now we have another AWP opportunity for David. He misses the first shot and is going to take one to the leg. Won't risk peeking that one again unless... No, okay, no. I'm not going to do it. Smoke over in apartments, making sure that Gertz and crew aren't able to rush anything there. But you know this squad, the one time they rushed something, it just didn't work out. That's not their style.
They're going to back up now, YeniCherry. They've got some information. They do know that there are players situated on B sites, so it looks like they might go for another A take. But do they know that there are players waiting for this potential connector push? As I say, though, Ryuzaki is now going to move over towards mid-window, which has been smoked out. And it's now a full spawn rotation here for the T side as they're looking for another play on A. But do they know that Nick is holding this harsh angle? So far, I would say no.
Nick holding it down there in
Doesn't
sandwich.
flinch.
And
no, you gotta get that! No!
Isn't good! Oh no, that is tragic. The opportunity was there, but the spray, just the shots don't make it, and now it's all alone by the ticket booth. Actually, finally going to have some backup, but the Kobe, the nade right into the ticket booth is going to stop that. It's STX all alone in a 1v3 that probably won't be, or actually maybe have a potential retake here. They're looking to make it happen. If you can take down that up in Palace, it is doable, but it is not doable because Khaki spotted them first.
Yeah, too far of a long-range battle. Don't have the high ground. Those two factors not going to combine in your favor. But that was really harsh to see. I mean, Nick holding that really tight angle there and having a full spray and still not getting the kill.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to get those. Those are ones that you cannot give up. And once that kill didn't come through and they got Nick, they're like, all right, that's pretty much the only person on the site. We're going to push through. And they did, and they got the bomb plant. They got the win.
You know, sometimes the easiest shots are the hardest to hit.
That's true.
That was that came true in the last round. And, you know, something I'd like to draw upon as YeniCherry is just making this round look easy is the trigger discipline difference that we're seeing between YeniCherry and All Gas No Brakes. You know, we've seen multiple moments where they've been able to hold on to the moment, keep themselves in a hidden position, and wait for an even better opportunity to come by. And that's not what we saw over in Sandwich. While there were a lot of people, nobody was really checking that angle.
Not only that, but I mean, All Gas No Brakes going into that last round and a half wasn't even at a full buy. I mean, that's how you know, like, okay, they're starting to slip a little bit in terms of economical, you know, management. At the same time, YeniCherry really not giving them a lot of, you know, opportunity to breathe, right? They're constantly forcing them to have some guns in their hands. And now YeniCherry, they had, I believe, at least 5 rounds in a row going into this next half. They are looking good. And so far, I know the score says one thing, but YeniCherry is up 10-5 here. Really solid.
Molly damage going on to Khaki there, but they will back off. Actually holding things down, or at least they thought, holding things down by Connector, and now it's going to be Febreze continuing this push. They're going to go around the tick boot. They're going to
wow, what a flick.
A little late, but it's still good. Gertz is now the last one alive with the USP. The damage can be done if you get some nice one-taps. This is a doable round, but they're stuck by the staircase. And really, it's All Gas No Brakes waiting for a slip-up. They don't have to do anything. It's all up to Gertz to make this play. The bomb is down. The timer is ticking. What are you going to do, Gertz?
Oh. Wow, that shot was barely off by like a millimeter right there. It was almost all Gertz No Brakes, but it did not happen. It did not happen.
All Gertz No Brakes. I like it. I like it. Well, if there's any roster changes, that might be.
Yeah, like right? Yeah, you might see the combination. Seen some smash pop off, too. 10-6 now. YeniCherry going to be holding on to this with a partial buy here. Khaki with the scout. And we're going to get chunked down to 16 HP right off the bat.
Oh,
still got the shot. Wow. That was nice.
Khaki taking down SDX, who is making their way up through apartments. That's going to make him think twice about committing to this site as the rotation comes through, but there is a player looking to make their way down mid. And from the ladder room, it's Getiter. Sends out some deagle shots, but they aren't good. They don't clear it. The flash is there to give him some time, but it's all about giving time to your teammate as Gertz is there to pick up some more.
And Getiter, I think, running through that molly to link up there with Coco, as a result, put down to 23 HP. I think they were particularly worried about a rush towards B that hasn't come their way. Instead, by doing so, they actually open up mid. And now all the way on the other side is Gertz, who's trying to flank. A-site now partially taken here, but they got to get control of it, and they don't. Brashy is waiting in the wings. Another kill comes down. 4-on-2 situation.
And they're not going to give up any lives. They will give up ground, but that could be retaken. You can't bring a life back, and, well, you can take a site back, and they will, as Brashy with the MP9 gets it done again.
Whew. And now YeniCherry starting to feel it. They're starting to run away with it a little bit. Where up until this point, All Gas No Brakes was able to keep this game in between 3 rounds or so. Now it's a lead of 5. All Gas No Brakes. Again, this was on a half buy too. Their half buy is so good. They're winning half buys on full rifle rounds for All Gas No Brakes. I mean, you really don't see that too often. And now you're seeing a single team doing that over and over and over again. And that came off of a huge Khaki headshot with the scout. A desperation shot when he was at like 18 HP. Absolutely huge.
And that round was all profit for YeniCherry. They walked in with SMGs, walked out with Galils and AKs, and now even an op on Khaki, who did some serious work last round and is looking to continue that pressure, pulling out the USP just to get a little bit of momentum. And they will leave the mid window for now because all the players are flooding out from apartments. Gertz finds one by hanging out by bench, swings around, finds a second, looks up towards the apartment, finds another one, and it's all up to STX to jump down. But you know that Gertz has got that lockdown.
They all came to Gertz, and Gertz just let him know who's there. That's his territory, and you're not going to encroach on it. Hanging back towards bench, a little cycle towards Van, and that's all he needed to do. A little bit of a repositioning as the smoke went down, and that is just perfect textbook play there as YeniCherry has now doubled their score, 12-6 score line, only a few rounds away from moving on in winner's bracket.
That's right, Febreze already going to take a lot of damage before they can even see somebody, and this is going to make them think twice. Brash already removing David from the fight, and this is going to just damper all the confidence you have, all the momentum as more continue to fall. But it is an eco round. It is expected.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick going down, I think one of the first shots is another one. This should be a flawless. It almost wasn't. Geditor clings to life with 6 HP. All gas, no brakes, who have been historically pretty solid on eco rounds, they at least to, get 1 kill, maybe 2. YeniCherry says no, they put their foot down, they shut the door. 13-6 scoreline with full buys here. They still have the op. No op for all gas, no brakes. They haven't been able to get David on that op very often in this map.
No, definitely not, and that's only 3 more rounds away until YeniCherry puts the E-brake onto all gas, no brakes, and forces them to swerve down into the losers bracket, and Gertz is making them hurt even more by holding it down through arches. Brashy supporting from the arches. Again, it's all up to David now. The 1v5. This is just unwinnable.
Yeah, this is now looking almost undoable for all gas, no brakes. They got to have something happen now. I mean, Brashy at 19-9. KD is looking immaculate, is looking really strong. Just a player that we've seen since Dust 2. Timing is really strong, has no problem face checking, no problem pushing through smokes, being the entry and getting kills with that rifle. That's the player you want on your team right there.
Without a doubt.
There's another start, Brashy first one on the board.
Oh, and they are just falling. They are speed running into map and series point. YeniCherry have all but 1 round standing in their way from making their way further through this winner's bracket.
And what do you do when Brashy's on the hunt playing aggressively and then you try to go mid to get away from it and Khaki is cutting the map in half with that op? There's almost nowhere for you to go unless you have an op yourself, which all gas, no brakes has not had for so many rounds. Without that op to have that same factor, it's been so difficult to win these long-range battles.
Exploding onto site, it's going to be Nick, who's trying to make it work and take out one enemy, but they'll be the first to fall themselves. Coco jumping out onto default, doesn't manage to pick off anybody, and it's real aggression. It's Ryuzaki and STX, the last one's alive. Although they seem to have control on this, they are all taken down. Just 2v2 now, and Ryuzaki's picking up another. There's one in jungle. They're going to back off. Khaki holding on to their back, holding on to their lives. They're looking toward mid. I don't think they would expect somebody to push through jungle and get their back, but actually preserving their livelihood. They're going to jump down, but now a shot has been taken against Ryuzaki. It's Brashy back from sight, sending it a nade, hurting them even more. 38 HP, 2 players to take down, and a minute left to do it. They have the bomb, and they're going to take it over to B.
What a cross angle there by both Brashy and Khaki holding that. There's no way you're going to push on A and puncture that site. And the bomb is going to go down. STX is 38 HP, just the AK, $700 to their name if they can spend that for the next round. And now we're going to have the push towards arches. Are they going to see it's being held in kitchen?
He's going to back off. And that flash is going to ensure that they won't have a good angle. And no! It's going to be Brashy. It's going to be YeniCherry moving on throughout the winner's bracket. They have taken down all gas, no brakes. And they're showing that they are here to play.